Yeah, maybe.
Off to a good start. This is the shit show after all.
I'll be honest. I was just waiting for HB to because he was taking notes and it didn't click to me that there was a difference between those.
There is a difference, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It just didn't click. I'm like, HB is doing notes. Oh wait, yeah, that's a different thing.
Well, I'm not doing them, so.
I got you guys. Mainly because I'm annoyed at cameras. What like looking at the cameras is annoying me. Stream up.
Yes, we are live on the internet.
Last time on D&D, we
The only.
uh we were in this city called Alinora, and we were, I believe, finishing up some performance stuff the day before. Where we were doing some reading, some books, and doing some people did performances. I think it was mainly Vesper and Go that did performances at the time. Yeah, someone did yoga, and we had dinner conversations, so nothing too precedent happened. Just mainly people were reading and trying to get more information about stuff. Um, we decided to make a plan to go check out Cassia's place, considering that we think that it might be being watched at this point. And that plan involves um, Vesper and Reynard just chilling and putting on performance and distracting people while they go for like try to get inside and check around and look for stuff. It's a two-story house with a little village garden or veggie garden when we get there. Um, Slowly start making our way around the inside while Vesper and Renard put on their performance. Inside, at first, people decide let's check out this corner in some of the rooms, and they find a room with animals that are dead, and they seem to be killed in the same way as previous murders that happened, where they're kind of stabbed, but there's no blood, yet they're also seemingly drained of blood. Um, and apparently, Go thought the house was much smaller than his house. I guess. Um, the kitchen appears scratched up, possibly by a bird. And we talked before about Cassia owning some parrots. Plural, maybe just one. It seems like they might have or got out because you didn't see them in there. As we start looking around more, they step on a rug, and by they, first Prospero steps on a rug, nothing happens, and then Atticus does, and then there's a giant explosion, and the house catches on fire. It looks like a prepared fireball of some sort on the rug, and then the paintings on the walls take form and they become fire elementals. Um, Reynard and Vesper try to distract the crowd from the giant bonfire and fire elementals, while the party tries to deal with them. It's not going too well, so Vesper tries to sneak over away from the crowd. However, Reynard is also trying to help, so he follows her while she's trying to sneak away. Um, Eventually, we get one of them polymorphed and one killed, and then Vesper throws the polymorphed one off a cliff, the chasm, and it just keeps falling and falling and falling into the ground, which is like a month away or something. And then we get like Reynard leads the crowd back away from the house. And then they put out the fires, kind of look through stuff. We don't see any notes or anything that's super noticeable in our look through. No like notes saying these are the people that murdered me or anything like that. So we go back to Suits. Reynard shows up late because he went out drinking with the people he's telling stories to, and then went bar hopping. Vesper goes for breakfast and it stops by to send a message. Oh, sorry, doesn't send a message. No, there's a message center. That's right. So she sends a message out using sending that someone wants to send. Um, so Louis Council, I don't know what that means. So
We were like talking about things we could do to get answers, and I think Atticus suggested that we could go see the council.
okay, and that's apparently something we could do. We are kept an eye on the house. because we don't. Well, now that we have sprung the traps, we're not sure if someone might go back in there and replace them. And then that's also when Atticus realized that he was one set up from the rug and not Prospero, so the traps were very much probably set for him specifically, and not just anyone that walks in the house. We realized we still have a key that we never tried on like everything, and we want to figure out where that goes, like the key from Cassia. So we kind of want to go back. And then we decided to split the party. So obviously that's gonna end up well. Goes off and does his stuff. Atticus and Reynard read. I think Zoot also reads, so I'm not really sure why they're separate. And then Prospero and Vesper kind of go off and talk about seduction and sex positions, and also Vesper's mom, which is always a good combination.
It's hard to break those things up.
Okay. That's about it. And again, we kind of trailed off. I think we were talking about initially going back to the house at night.
Yes, indeed. I do believe that's loosely the plan. So during the day, you guys decided to, find a way to entertain yourselves. Currently, we have Vesper and Prospero, as well as Gozak, all heading towards their errands that they wanted to run. Everyone else, I believe, is at the house. Atticus and Reynard, you guys were chilling and reading, right?
I don't remember for sure if Atticus was.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, cool.
It was.
So we will pick up with the medial sectari sector. I think, yeah, Emma, you're echoing a little. I don't know how or why, but
Oh, okay. I'll.
HP go further away.
Because his camera isn't on. The camera's, cut down on.
yeah, that's
Is it
Echo.
still echoing?
Yep.
Don't know why. Kind of weird.
I mean, I'm muted. Like I was muted for that.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean anything. It unmutes when the camera's on. Yeah, that's it. Or when it's off. Oh,
Here,
it sounds like it's okay now. I think.
Is that button any better?
Seems like it's
okay,
good.
well,
That's
am
all.
I echoing or is she echoing?
I think she was. I just looked over quick. Sounds good now.
All right.
Okay, so you guys are going over to the place that you're going. I guess you guys would probably see each other all walking the same direction, like several streets down.
I left a while before that.
Did you? Okay. I thought you stopped for
because-
something.
I mean, I stopped to talk to like a couple people, but
Okay.
I did leave a good amount of time before they did.
Okay. Okay, I was thinking it was.
Like 5 minutes.
That's a good amount of time when you're walking across the city.
Yeah.
And I'm going to a different place than you.
Fair enough. Okay, so. Yeah, let me just double check, make sure I wrote it down. Yes. Okay, so you are going to. Let me double check. Sorry, I didn't really get time to quick check over before I started. Where is it? Okay, yeah. So yeah. Okay, so you are walking up to a large house at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But not that large, according to Go.
Yeah. It's average.
That was different, I think.
Average man.
Anyway, you see a house, fairly well, no, because wasn't that commentary on Cassia's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably have like same size.
Anyway, a fairly large, ornate house, pale stone gargoyles, kind of along the outside fence, which is tall metal fencing, slabs of stone as like, intermittent. It's like essentially like a post, I guess. But yeah, you see some gargoyles decorating the top of these slabs of stone on the house themselves. It's very nice. A bit of a yard, but I mean, it's still underground, so it's only so much actual like grass and field in their yard and such. But,
Bit of a yard is pretty cool underground.
I mean, yeah. Yes, yes, indeed. Anyway, you walk up to the front gate, which is currently closed.
Actually, can we go back 1 second?
Yep.
I have a question about Cassia's veggie garden underground.
No,
Where does it get its nutrients?
we can't go back. So what are you doing, Gozak?
Knocking on the gate.
Alrighty. You knock on the gate. The gate opens and leads inward.
Wow. Uncultured. Wanna walk through?
Alrighty. You walk up towards the house. A few trees and stuff on either side of you, but through the yard you go up to the front door, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Knock on the door.
Sounds good. You knock.
Ring the doorbell, maybe? I don't know.
That is an invention that they should add, but I don't think that they have it here.
New idea.
Could be. You knock on the door, wait a little bit. Eventually, like kind of a few moments later, a man opens the door, wearing a nice, fairly nice like tunic, and he says, "Good day, sir. How can I help you?" And this
I'm
is
looking,
a fair folk man. Sorry.
I'm looking for Morothos or Makaria?
The masters are not in right now. Can I take a message for you?
I mean, I just wanted to ask about a cousin. I don't remember her name. Cassiopeia? Cassandra?
Cassia? Vita?
Cassia.
Cassiopeia.
Well, I'm sure that if you allow me to write down your question, they can send you a letter and inform you of the answer of whatever you might desire to know.
I mean, I don't have the time to sail back to Kurok to get the letter.
We could send it to your current residence if you are staying in the city.
That is my current residence. I live in Kurok.
But you are here right now, so...
And I might not be here tomorrow, that is.
go ahead and
Your
roll,
system is very flawed.
roll a persuasion check. Is this urgent information that they must know about, or...
I mean, it was more of a question. I had met her, and then she disappeared, and
Oh dear.
told me her house was here, and then I come here, her house is known there, so I figured I would go to the family in town, and I was pointed here.
Well, I believe that they are destined to arrive back tomorrow morning, if you are alright with waiting. I can send them your direction if you are still here, otherwise they are away on business at the moment.
Okay.
Do you have a location they should find you at, if you are still here?
No, I can find them.
Alrighty.
Probably by coming back here, knocking on the door, and talking to you, figuring out where's they're at.
Yes, that will do just fine.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Alright.
Walk away.
Sounds good. Prospero and Vesper.
I think Prospero left me.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Prospero made an awkward exit.
Oh, that's right. You're like reading or some shit.
I was gonna start reading the sequel.
Ah,
The sequel?
sounds good. Making quick work of it. Sounds good. Okay, so sorry. So then it's Vesper, and you came this direction, I believe.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So Gozak, you start walking away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to do after that? What direction are you intending to
Alright.
head?
I guess we'll just scam some kids down at the tourist sector.
Okay, sounds good.
Specifically kids.
Yeah.
It has to be
Hopefully.
children. It has to be children. Okay. All right. So you walk away then. Vesper, you eventually find your way into this sector, and have been. I believe you didn't get an exact location, right? You were kind of like heading this way.
Yeah, so I was essentially trying to figure out like where the cousins spend their time.
Right. That's what I was. Okay. Sounds good.
Um, and believe I got more of a general area rather than like a
Yeah.
location.
I think they mostly
Um,
told you like in this location, like kind of around their house and stuff.
yeah. So I'm gonna go in that direction. Um, kind of just like keeping an eye out, kind of seeing like maybe where some of the other um Voidborn Athene might be heading. Um, and I'm just gonna go into a bar, just kind of like watch for now, see how they interact with each other, what they're doing, maybe pick up on some like conversations. But
Alrighty.
that's what I'm doing.
Sounds good. I suppose I mean, it's easy enough to find a bar, so you can do that. You go in, and like assuming that this is one that you chose based on the people walking in, which would be the kind of the Voidborn Asini generally. There's a decent amount in here. Not like the whole population of the bar, but
Yeah.
decent amount of people. Probably a few groups of them at different tables. One of the more like one of the larger group of the two would be up at the bar, and they are all kind of like just meeting currently, so people are still walking in. A group of maybe like 8 people, all seem very just kind of like lost in conversation, very loud, very much so enjoying their afternoon.
Mm.
But the other group is just kind of sitting at the table, eating a meal, chatting, nice casual. So you come in, sit down for a little bit. Order a meal or drink if you want, but otherwise, most of the conversation you would pick up on would be actually roll a perception check.
14.
14. All right. You would hear the larger group talking about there being a lack of people to go on the expeditions right now. Otherwise, it's mostly just. I guess that's like the only thing that kind of catches your ear. Otherwise, most of it's just like random talk about, how's life, all that shit. But they seem like they're just loud, enjoying their day, as pontiffs do. The other group, a little bit quieter, but generally nothing too interesting over there. Just talking about sports and the libraries and their work and stuff. It's all kind of casual.
Yeah.
So how long would you like to stay in here?
A few hours.
Okay, cool. And there'd be a couple more people coming and going, maybe coming for a meal alone, 1 or 2 people. But otherwise, mostly just groups that are kind of just hanging out, just having an afternoon.
I'll like take my book that I have out and like pretend to read it just so it doesn't look like totally awkward me sitting by
Sure,
myself.
sure, yeah.
Um,
You're not gonna sit there and just staring at it.
just there, like, but yeah.
All right, sounds good. So you do that. Anybody else have anything you guys want to do during the day today?
Based on the fact that what you sent me for the Glittering Halls, it seems pretty short. Can I just on the next book after that?
Which one would you like to start?
It would be Reshna Atquitz.
Alrighty. I think I have that one.
Oh, actually, I'm
Woo!
sorry. Mako Moma. That's
Oh,
next. I missed that one.
fuck, I don't have that one. Okay, you start reading it though.
Then I'll do Acolytes, and that's fine. If you don't have it ready, I'm not that worried about it.
scrolling. I will send it to you in a moment.
Uh.
Anybody else got anything?
No, Zoot's reading in his slightly too large recliner.
You're reading the one that Atticus got, right?
The yokai
Saga?
article, book, saga,
Yeah,
whatever you
article,
want to
yeah,
call it.
article. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so you guys go about your things. I assume eventually, based on the plans that you had kind of made, you would meet back in the evening, so we'll say like 8 o'clock-ish, unless anyone has anything else they need to do before then. Or we'll say 9, because you guys were kind of talking about like night, dark. So,
I don't think so. Nope.
Alright, I do have one thing.
alrighty, go ahead.
Can I see if there are any, like, houses to rent where I'm at?
To rent? Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check. Just ask around. God, what's the price of a house in D&D? Oh God.
I don't know if it matters. I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can still find it. It would just take you a while. You just get turned around in the sector a little bit, probably, because most of the time those kind of rolls are not like
How much?
you just can't find anything. It's like
Houses to rent?
living wait. What do I like? D&D living expenses. That's the term. 1 silver a month.
1 lemon a day.
I mean, it's a couple silver for most inns, so like,
Yeah.
2 silver.
so would it be like 10-ish gold a month or something?
I would say you could rent like around here, probably a pretty decent house for like a gold a day.
Okay.
Like that's like a fairly smaller house.
Gold a day.
Yeah, a gold a day. It's a pretty modest. That's
Can I
the modest price for a day. Sorry.
just give whomever I'm renting this from a platinum
Okay.
just to have it for 10 days?
That's a quick
Alright.
lease.
Got your Airbnb.
Mhm.
You only need a
Sounds
sign
good.
for it?
We'll say it is
Sketchy.
like here. So I'll do a little star, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess Cassia's house would have been like here.
Oh my god, we're neighbors.
Neighbors are across the.
Across the sector, yeah.
Like, is this to scale?
No.
Yeah,
God, no.
50, yeah.
This is
So
the
neighbors.
this is the 10-minute drawing I did before the session because I didn't have time to do it. Okay, so you do that and then you head back.
Yeah, I'll head back. I just want to have, like, a place over here.
Alrighty, sounds good. So eventually you guys all meet back up at Zoot's house, ready for your evening investigations or whatever.
How was everyone's day?
Yeah. A lot of
Learn
reading.
a lot?
Well, yeah, actually, I did. I just want to put a little bit of more information in the circle. When Atticus was saying that the yokai are fair folk, he was kind of saying like the article says they're like a figment of like the collective fair folk imagination. It doesn't say anywhere that they're like physically fair folk or there's like anything to support that they are actually fair folk. It just basically says that other people, when there's no solution to a crime, they would say the yokai did it, and that is generally what the fair folk did. So it's more like it's fair folk lore. Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, but other than that, not much. Got some of the pots ready for the cinnamon drink maker.
I reach out to hand the sequel book back to Vesper.
You
It was-
finished it already.
Yes. Well, I'm a fast reader, and it was interesting. I think you'll like the ending.
Would you say it was a happy one?
Well, I can't give it away. And we all have our own definitions for what is happy. I enjoyed it.
Well, I
What
still
did you
have
do
to read
today?
the first one, so.
Oh, yes, that one.
I just did a little bit of scoping out Medial Sectari District. Trying to learn more about behavior patterns and the like.
Did you notice anything interesting?
Not particularly. I suppose there was this one group that seemed up in arms that there weren't people to go on, I don't know, some sort of expedition. Can't imagine why, since 25 people died the last time, but also I rented a house.
Oh, are you planning on putting down roots here?
No, I just thought it'd be nice to have like a base that wasn't tied to the pontiffs.
Ah, yes. Zoot Pont.
Well, Zoot's house is very far away from everything over there, so
That's a good technical choice. Maybe you can give us the tour.
it came furnished, so you can't blame me for the decorating decisions.
I mean, I can still do that.
Thanks, Reynard. What about the rest of you? Reading was good. Go, what'd you get yourself up to?
I tried to meet with some pontiffs.
You what?
Tried to meet with some of the pontiffs.
Ah, how'd it go?
Not well. They're not in town.
Ooh, which ones?
Morothos and Makaria?
Oh, Morothos and Makaria.
Yeah, Morsos.
They're not pleasant, I'll warn you.
Mhm.
At least not to me.
Well, I didn't meet them. Because they're out of
Not
town.
you.
So I'll be back in town tomorrow, so.
Why them in particular? Did you go to
Because,
meet them?
because somebody said that Atticus Caduceus Cornelius Pontiff was a little bit senile. So I was like, well, who isn't senile? Because I gave out the names of these two. I was like, okay.
They're also the two individuals that Atticus thinks framed him.
Ah,
So maybe proceeding with a little bit more caution than walking up to their front door.
And
I
don't
mean, that's
mention
what
that
I
I'm
did
here
last
to them.
time.
Are you going to tell them that you know Atticus?
No, I was planning on it.
Just making sure.
I can do it if you want. Like,
No, I wouldn't.
I think subtlety is a better approach.
I don't know. When I left, you all were talking about bloodletting ritual. This and that. I didn't want any part of it. I figured I'd try to do something productive. So when people pointed me towards the pontiffs who might know the most about things, I went to the pontiffs that might know the most. And then I made 6 gold off of tarot readings.
Wow, Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, I was off my game. I could have done better.
Yeah, you're not really scamming kids out of lunch money. You're scamming people out of rent.
Wait, you guys do better than that in a night? I get
Yeah,
like
sometimes.
2 gold most nights.
I've been netting at least over 10 gold every time I go.
Yeah, I got a platinum piece a couple days ago, plus like 6 or
But-
7 gold.
I'm also working for my money, and you're just stealing it from people, essentially.
I'm not stealing money from people. I'm telling them what they want to hear.
He's essentially convincing them to give him money.
Yes.
Yes.
So it takes. I wouldn't say it's perhaps incredibly honorable, given the slippery methods of divination in this instance. But it's not exactly stealing.
Exactly.
Oh dear, I think my moral compass has been wavering since becoming closer with you all.
Hmm.
I just look at Asterius.
So sorry, Joel. When you do your readings, how drunk do you get?
I don't. I'm not big on drinking.
Okay, and how drunk are your like fans?
I mean, I guess it depends. I'm kind of posted up in the tourist area of town, so sometimes you get some people who thought that travel would solve all the problems, and sometimes you get a really drunk person trying to figure something out. It's a bit of a mix.
And how often do they buy you drinks?
0% of the time. I'm not big on drinking.
Maybe this is why I don't make as much money then.
Why? Because you want people to buy you drinks.
I mean, I'm at a bar. Because it's silly not to take the drinks. Maybe I should just quit going to a bar. Maybe I'll try that one time, see how it goes. There's a lot of fun people there though.
Have you met anyone particularly interesting?
Met some Dragonborn before, but I just haven't seen too many, so they're just kind of interesting in that regard. Their society's very cool.
Isn't it a bit racist? Or classist, rather.
I mean, I didn't say if it was good or bad. I think that's when it would be racist or classist. It is pretty bad though. Like the guy was like very much like a oh, what they call them, the elite ones, the ones that are so high and mighty and get the only ones that go to school and stuff. I forget the type, but he was like like just bragging about the color of his skin the entire time.
Yeah, probably lucky that Vorjak wasn't there. Might have beat him up.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Just another Dragonborn.
I guess he wasn't elite then, huh?
Guess it depends on the way that you look at
An elite fighter, that
it. Not
and
wrong.
not just any dragonborn Vesper. He was my best friend, I'll have you know.
I know, Atticus. I'm sorry.
Isn't Vesper one of your best friends as well?
Yes, you guys are all my best friends.
There's also
I've
like
known
a
him the longest, about 2 more days.
There's also like a 50% chance he was a slaver, but you know, we never really dug into that.
Wait,
We
no,
just
I-
kind of let him go. Didn't really
We did
question
dig
it.
into
No,
it.
we did dig into it and we trusted that he was telling the truth.
I didn't insight check him.
Well, I did plenty.
What's an insight check? Question mark.
Yeah,
It's like how believable someone is.
It's when you verify.
It's sort of like a vibe
What?
check, but you don't punch them in the face.
Yeah,
What's
no,
a
see,
vibe
I was paying attention
a
to what he was
vibe?
saying, and
Must
he
be a
sounded
young-
very truthful.
Of course he wasn't lying.
I'm just saying, there's about a 50% chance.
And I'm
You're
and I'm
5%
saying
chance.
you're definitely overestimating that percent chance. Unless you're doing the joke where it's a 50-50, either he is or he isn't.
I mean, that's literally what 50-50 is. You either buy and own slaves and are a slaver, or you don't buy and own slaves and are not a slaver. It's a pretty binary idea.
Well, no, because I would say there's a higher chance that he is not a slaver. That's like saying, Zook points out to like the bridge out the window. He's like saying that's like saying there's like a 50-50 chance you jump off the bridge. I would venture to say there's probably a lower than a 50% chance that happens.
It's about a 40-60.
I think
the fact
that
that
is.
he fought to the death with some slavers probably, made that a little bit more of a 10-90 chance, maybe.
Yeah, he
Or
literally
less.
went out of his way to free some slaves. So I would say probably not as likely.
I'm just saying, I was not convinced.
Well,
And I think that there's a shred of possibility that he was. I'm not so quick to deny.
Can I just say, based off what I heard of this guy, I wouldn't be convinced either. You guys pretty much just said he was a murderer.
Oh, he didn't murder. It was
You
fighting
guys-
for someone else's life.
No, you guys said he wanted to murder that nice, not Fairfolk, the Fairy? Fae? Fae,
that.
that's it. You guys said he wanted to murder that Fae earlier.
Nah, he talks a lot. He just likes violence. He would beat them up and then, obviously leave them alive, hopefully.
But I mean, you can think what you want.
I will
Yeah.
continue to.
Well, yeah. Oh, I knew you would go. I was more talking to Renard. Well,
We have
anyway,
a plan for tonight.
yeah.
Anything? What are we doing?
Why don't we
we're
just do
going
the
to that
exact same
box.
thing and hope there's not a fireball and
I'll make sure not to step on that mat.
I'm pretty sure that mat got pretty burned.
Yeah, no, that mat's not there anymore.
You never know.
do any of you guys know how to detect magic?
Yep.
I could
Maybe do that this time.
pair it.
Yeah, I believe we said we were going to try to see if there was some other origin besides the front door for this key. I guess I don't have the key. The key that I believe Atticus has.
Atticus brandishes the key.
Yeah, that one.
Well, I would be fine putting on another show. So
Yeah, fair enough. It did its job last time, so I suppose that's not a bad way to do it. I mean, what are the chances we run into more fire elementals, Or,
50-50.
yeah, 50-50.
We either do or we don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's getting about dark enough. You guys want to grab some street meat and head over?
Oh, I love a falafel. Do you think they have falafel here?
Oh, they have everything here.
Starving. Reading about all these lusts and passions all day, it really gets you hungry.
Well, I mean, I was just hungry, but that's okay too. I'm sure we can find you a falafel, Prospero. Zoo starts getting his stuff together.
All right. Anybody have anything else before you guys get heading out? All right. We
Doesn't
pack up.
sound like it.
Well, it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
Pack up, leave. Get your falafel. Just knock off like, I don't know, 2 silver.
Ooh,
Um, you guys are heading over to Cassia's house. Oops. Alright. Alright. Just gotta move your tokens back outside. Oh, the door ain't open. I am a fool.
Yeah, see, no rug.
Alright, so you guys are approaching the house. Anything you guys want to do on the way there?
Can I see if anyone's following us?
Make a perception check.
Oh, 19.
19, nice. Look around. Doesn't look like there's anybody following you right now. Or looking at you or doing anything too weird.
Mhm.
Continue on your way.
Yeah. Once we get in the area, I'd like to make sure there aren't any like guards or like detectives, investigators,
Sure.
people that would be looking at, hey, a fire elemental like took a leisurely stroll out of this house.
Okay. Well, I will say, as you walk up, you do see 2 guards outside the front door.
No, I don't.
I got
Oh,
you. I got
I'm so shit. I just put them in the wrong layer. Lol.
So the guards are dead. Go quickly.
you.
Get that shit out of here. There you go. I'll put them on the lighting layer. So close.
Almost there. Hmm. Well, I
What
mean,
committee are we from this time? The Committee of Historical Homes, perhaps?
Why do we need to be from a committee? We have someone with the key to the house.
Good point. Good point.
Well, if the guards are there, they might know that person who lived there died. So wouldn't that be
well,
strange?
you could also just say you're her cousin coming into.
Should we just think about the fact that if we're coming back here to try to see what this key fits, that by showing them that we have a key to the house, we will lose whatever we might find.
That is a fair point.
That's if we give them the key. We're not going to give them the key.
Well, we also don't even really know if it's a key to the house now that we think about it.
Plus,
Have they-
Atticus said he wasn't exiled from the town. He was only exiled from his family. We can walk around with Atticus. It's not like going up to the guardsmen and, oh, look, it's Atticus Cornelius. Can they respond to him? They're going to be like, oh, that's the bastard, arrest him.
Why don't we just all act very drunk and act like we ended up at the wrong house on accident?
I
We
could also
definitely get
Does
turned
it-
away.
well, yeah, does that really let us in, or does that just provide a distraction for people to go at the back?
It
I could
gives us
provide.
an opportunity to find out why they're posted outside.
Probably because fire elementals walked out the front door. Can't say whose fault that was. Feels
All
like
I'm
a team
saying
fault.
is that one walked out the door and was immediately turned into a frog. It was around for maybe like 3 seconds. Like, not that many people could have noticed it.
I mean, we noticed guards running to the house when we got there. When we were leaving.
That doesn't
Maybe-
explain why they would still be here
I think the reason the
24 hours
whole
later.
commotion was the fire around the house, not really the elemental. if not both.
If you guys want, I can just distract them and you guys can like sneak on back or something.
Well, I was thinking that we devise some sort of strategy. Maybe we can blind them and get past them
But
or something.
that sounds noticeable.
Why do we have to attack or do anything to them?
We're not attacking them. We're just getting around them. I think having a conversation with them might be a bad idea.
Well, I think trying to blind them is a bad idea.
They won't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, my eyesight just disappeared. What's up with that?
They'll have no idea. Maybe they'll just think it's awfully dark all of a sudden.
Have you
Or I
ever
could
been
just
blinded before, magically?
It kind of
No, but I hear it's a bit of fun.
No, it's not. And you kind of realize it right away.
again, I
Alright,
could just
alright.
go up and talk to them, and you guys just walk around the back door or window or something. People like my
We
stories.
could just walk up and be curious as to why there are guards at this house and ask them.
Yeah, I think like we're overthinking this a little bit.
Yes.
Mhm.
Not like the
You know what?
gods of this
Banish
city
them?
are against us right now.
Oh my
We're
god,
not going to
Prospero!
banish the government.
Prospero! You're going from 0 to 100 so quickly. Like,
I
right
like-
back. Right back.
I
Maybe
like this
should stop
Prospero.
reading dramatic
Prospero, you need to
romances.
get that moral compass
Wait.
checked out.
Wait, what
Yes.
type of romantic books were you reading when people were getting banished?
There were satyrs, so some weird stuff.
There were an awful lot of blindfolds as well.
Atticus starts walking to the garden.
What about a banishment would be sexy?
Kind where if you're like in a forbidden love and you get banished from your family because you're not supposed to be in love with this other person.
Halt there!
Depends on where you get banished to.
It doesn't get any banished, but you like on a
Where you
different
get
planet.
where you get banished. Ooh, okay, now I'm on board. Now I get what you said.
But then if you put you on a plane that there's like nothing.
What business do you have here?
Oh, I was just strolling by and I was just wondering why there are guards at this house.
Seems there was an incident here last night. We're just here to check it out.
Oh, an incident. What kind of incident?
He like looks sideways at the other one. None of your concern, citizen. Worry not.
Oh, well, you see, this is a good friend of mine's house, and I was a little bit concerned. Could you not elaborate at all? Just, I wish the safety of my friends, so...
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
You said what?
God, that's still really high.
Good roll. Good roll.
That was good. He just kind of looks at you and goes, well, how did you know them?
Why does that matter?
It just does not seem like there's anyone home.
Oh,
So if you have any information as to the owner of this house, that would be useful.
Yes, they're my cousin. and I met them, back in, where was it? To the west. So they're not here now, I think, so...
Ah, yes, to the west. As in, mostly everything.
Yes, you're right. It was sure, Charlie.
Ah, I see.
wish.
Are you then
Hopefully the house is all right.
one of the pontiffs?
Yes.
I see. One moment. And he like kind of knocks on the door and opens it up. Steps in and closes it.
Oh, sure. He can go in the house, but we can't. Oh, Mr. Big God.
Anything anybody else wants to do while he
And
is?
just to clarify, I don't think we're standing directly in front of the house.
No, I
we're,
imagine
like,
you guys are
on the
like,
way.
Yeah. Like down
In-
the street or something. Or
Yeah.
Atticus walked away and we didn't want like a
Yeah.
scene type
I
thing.
mean, Atticus doesn't look like he's in trouble yet, so I think we should just stay where we are.
Yeah, I just want to clarify we're not just like standing in their front yard going like, what's going on?
just on the
Yeah.
other side of the gate.
It's not like a big group of college students like trying to get trying to like, oh, did you get the invitations to
Yeah,
the
and our
party?
ratio sucks.
True, very true.
Mhm.
Steps out a moment later and he goes, he'll be out in a moment, the investigator. Oh fuck, I lost cameras. And they're back, we're good. Except for
That was my
Henrich.
fault.
Uh,
I don't have Henrich.
One more
Go.
time.
Oh, I,
No, I have Henrich, but not Danielle.
Yeah,
What?
I turned my camera off.
I have you
Oh.
all.
Alright, whatever, it's fine. Okay, so the captain, or whatever, you know, like the head, the guy that seems to be leading the endeavor, walks out. I guess he doesn't need to have a conversation from 30 feet away. He approaches you a little bit, and he goes, I heard you might have information regarding the, your cousin, sounds? Mr. something Pontiff?
yes. Well, I mean, I don't have much information. I met her in church hall just not too long.
I see, it looks as though she hasn't been home for quite some time. Her upstairs library room has been entirely burnt. Not
Oh,
quite visible from the outside, which is curious, but we are currently conducting an investigation on the house.
oh, interesting.
If you saw her recently, I imagine far away, she was not here, therefore she's probably doing well. Wasn't in the house at the time of this event, at least.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Do you mind if I take a look around? Perhaps I can try and get her personal belongings back to her because I was planning on going back to the west after leaving.
Johan, roll another persuasion with the dis.
Why are you making him roll with disadvantage?
Because of reasons. So I apologize to tell you that I apologize. I cannot allow individuals, even family, in the house at this time. By the time our investigation is over, perhaps we can reach out to you. Is there a location or a way of contacting you? Anywhere you
Well,
might be staying?
I could just check back in a couple days if that's all right.
That, I suppose.
Wonderful. Well, good to see at least she didn't get hurt, but the house seems to be in a bit of a mess. Anyway, good day.
Indeed. Good day.
Mosey on out of there.
Walks back inside.
Well,
Are the guards dressed in like the pestle
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they
uniform?
are. They are. The normal looking guard for the country here. Yes. Base Lazen, indeed.
I relay conversation.
Nice.
So it seems we won't be able to come back till they're done.
Ooh.
Hopefully we didn't miss anything important.
Well, they can't be there all day. They have to sleep sometime.
It is true.
We just come back when they're asleep.
Well, I mean, there's probably more than two gods.
I think gods usually, yes, take shifts and watches.
Well, Prospero was saying something about blinding earlier, if I remember right.
Well, at this point, if we were to do such a thing, it would put a lot of suspicion on Atticus, even more so than he already has.
Well, I didn't say my name, and all they know is my face, which I can easily conceal. Or change.
True.
Unless they recognize me, which I don't know if they do.
Did you just say how many were there? Did I miss that?
How many guards? There's 2 and an investigator.
Did that look to be all that there was?
As far as I can tell.
I will say you guys can see one in the sitting room as well through the window.
Oh. Investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes 4. Take him.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
So what's next?
Good
I don't,
question.
I don't fucking know. Well, I mean, we can't really continue with the house unless we feel like beating up a bunch of city guard. That's probably not quite the move.
Is there a window to get into the 2nd floor from somewhere in the house?
I believe her bedroom has a window, which would be on the backside. I think.
He
There is not a window in her. Or no, there is. There is a window in her library as well, which would be like you guys can see it up in front of you.
Oh, alright.
I forgot. I just didn't draw them in because they didn't fit the way that I did the map.
You know, if you could break one of those windows, I could polymorph you into a bat. You could fly in there.
Very sneaky. Just throwing rocks.
Oh, well, I mean, eh, don't. Huh. You don't think that we could open up that window from the outside?
Well, if we had Mage Hand, we probably could. Unless it's locked, of course.
Does anyone have access to that?
I have Mage Hand.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Wow, and you can fly. That's interesting.
It's like very short bursts.
Well, I mean, you only need to get
Oh,
about
that's a
10 feet
story.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, at a window that's right above 2 guards posted at the front door.
Well, there's one on the back as well. In the bedroom. That was facing the other way.
Muted Grant.
And that doesn't even like take into account for the guards inside.
Yeah.
Well, it was just brainstorming, I guess.
I mean, I don't need to fly. I could teleport in there.
Is the
Then how do you get
guard
out?
that we can see in the window, like, what does he appear to be doing?
He looks like he's kind of loosely looking around. Mostly looks like he's just like supposed to be patrolling, but he's just kind of like bored and he's like looking at what's in the room, basically.
Okay.
So technically he would be moving. I just haven't tracked him.
Mhm.
But he kind of gets distracted by these things over here, the chairs and stuff.
And does, like, the inspector ever, like, pop into the windows?
You haven't seen him yet.
Sort of wonder if we should just watch the house for a bit and see what they do.
Well, I mean, it couldn't hurt.
Is it the evening right now, right?
Yeah, it's like
9, 10 p.m.
it's like 10 or so. Took you guys about you met at 9. Took you about an hour to walk over here.
Would we, or I guess, would I know if it's weird that guards are out investigating this late on an incident that happened the day before?
Um,
Full 24 hours investigating something like this when there's not even someone there?
I would say make a history check. I would say you probably wouldn't have any specific reason to find it like too surprising. Depending on the investigation, sometimes they stay long. Sometimes the investigator might not have been available right away, you know, so like maybe they just got the guards out here and we're like, oh shit, just went down here. Everyone back up. And then like hours later he was able to come.
But this hour then, is that a same thing apply there type of thing?
Sorry.
Like working at this hour of night, would that be the same
Oh.
type of thing?
I would say you don't really have any particular reason to believe it to be super weird.
Besides the fact that it's definitely super weird.
But it's underground cities. What?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's but they
maybe this doesn't
still
work.
operate on like a relatively
Mhm.
like normal schedule. Like
Maybe,
they must be getting paid hella in overtime.
or there's a lot of murders which are
He's just
needing
on
to be
call.
solved.
So what do you guys want to do?
I think we're watching the house.
I'm just gonna post myself up to watch the house.
Okay.
Kind of waiting to see when the investigator leaves, really.
I think we should stay like a little far away and just see them come and go
Yeah.
type of thing. That way.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys stand like maybe a street or two down, in a place that you feel like you have a reasonable sight line on it without being like obviously looking at it.
Like just standing and looking at it, yeah.
And maybe we should like through the night have like someone put on like this guy's health and walk by or something, see if anything's changed, or just walk down the street type of thing.
I don't think they like saw the rest. Really, they probably didn't make note of like the
I
random.
mean, it's
group.
more like if the same 4 people keep walking by a house in a police investigation. Like it's entirely their job to realize that.
I also too, if you guys could all make a general stealth check just for kind of a low-key watch stakeout. Not too difficult of a, oh.
No, it's difficult. Let me assure you, it is difficult.
Oh boy.
Those cards, they're being shuffled loud.
The good news is, there's another green number there, so you guys cancel each other out.
Okay, that's good.
I'm missing one. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so it wasn't too difficult. I mean, obviously you guys are a decent amount of distance away, so not too hard of a roll. But yeah, you guys all kind of stake out, set up a spot. Who is going to be watching first, I guess? Or multiple people, whatever.
I'll be watching for the most part.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
Is there a tavern nearby?
Yeah. There's taverns everywhere.
But do you guys want some of us to get some rest while some others watch, and then change it later?
I'll sleep.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. 'Cause it doesn't have.
Vespa, could we go to your rental property?
We could. It's across the
Sector.
sector.
Mhm.
Um,
If there's a tavern around here, maybe we want to just stay within a couple minutes walk. You know.
That's true.
We can. Whoever's on watch could take one of the sending stones too. So we had a direct line.
I could stay with Atticus to start, and then, a couple hours, Vesper and Go come back. Or Vesper or Go or something.
are we doing groups of 2 or groups of 3?
I think 2 would still be best, but we could do 3 also. I just don't think Atticus would stay up all night by himself.
It's probably a fair
Or-
criticism.
Alright, so the rest of you find a tavern. Who's the one staying with Atticus?
I will.
Okay, sounds good. So, you guys are watching.
Can I just say, I'd say like maybe Atticus and I start 4 hours, go and Vesper take over, and then after Zoot and Prospero, so everyone can get to sleep.
Sure.
Sure.
Sounds good. All right. So you guys would
Like if I'm
notice.
sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for eventually.
Mm-hmm.
The two of you would notice fairly quickly that the guards in the front are going to walk around the left side of the house, and there are more guards that come around from the back around the right side, and they just kind of rotate. And it looks like it happens about every hour, since you guys are watching for 4 hours. That's a pretty easily noticeable thing. Otherwise, you do not catch another guard inside, I guess, with your roll and all that. You don't see the inspector either.
Just because I'm also doing the watch, should I roll?
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't see the inspector. What is he doing?
Oh, that probably would help.
Inspecting.
The staircase? Like,
Alrighty.
Burnt up room in the second floor.
So
we
anything?
looked for a basement, right?
You guys went through every room. I don't think you specifically like looked for like a trap door or anything, but you went through every room. Didn't find any unused doors. Went in the mole. Okay, so is anything you guys want to do while you're watching? Any conversations or anything?
I don't think so.
Rainer and Atticus, no?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you guys too, I guess.
I guess I'd
I'm
help with
gonna
violin slash guitar.
do my 4 hours of sleep now.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Going to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm gonna read my book on the elemental plane of air.
Nice. Oh, that's cut. That is not what I wanted. I wanted a copy. You get the only information I have. No. There's part 1, and... No, it's too long. There we go. That should be all of it then.
Oh boy, okay.
That's it. That's all of it. Alright. So you guys are just sitting watching Atticus and Raynard. Just hanging out, just chilling, whatever. Nothing too exciting happens, but eventually who is going to take the second? You said Gozak Vesper, was it?
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Alright. You guys head out about 2 a.m.
Passing on one of the sending stones to them.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Making sure one stays in the tavern, one stays out here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the two of you go ahead and make a perception check. Nice. 7. Alright.
18.
You guys notice the same thing. Guards are rotating. About, it would be 2 hours into your, well, okay, I guess first. An hour in, you guys do see the inspector walk out the front door and walk away.
Okay.
2 hours after that, you do see 4 more guards walk around the side of the house to the front, basically taking new positions.
And can we backtrack?
Sure.
Can I try to follow the inspector when he leaves?
Sure. Sounds good.
I will hold down the fort.
Alrighty.
I'm staying.
You're what?
Can I ask a question for Vesper?
I thought I was with.
No,
I'm not
you're
with
still.
the
No,
You're
Zoot.
still.
I'm with Zoot at the.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought I was with.
We sleeping.
We
Yeah,
sleep.
I guess I can. Here, we can move these down here to reflect who's here, who's not.
Can I just clarify if the guard that was inside or whatever, did we see?
Yes, he would also. Sorry, yes, you're right. There would have been 5. My bad. He would have switched
I
out
will.
at the same time. Or
I would like to clarify that when Vesper leaves, it's going to be a real half-assed watch because Gozak's going to start playing around with his cards.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so Vesper, you start following him. How closely do you want to follow him?
As I don't want to.
You want to be seen.
Like I want to be stealthy. I don't want to be seen, right?
Right.
But I also don't want to lose him. So,
Sounds good. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
and I'm gonna go ahead and cast disguise self on myself as well.
Alrighty. How do you want to look?
To look like Arya.
Sounds good.
So I've rolled an 18 on stealth.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So you are following him on your way out, being pretty quiet, keeping a good distance, ducking around corners when you need to and stuff, but not losing him. He will be walking to the. I guess it would be across the bridge and down to the lower. Yeah. To the lower. Sorry, I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking it. Triter. Yeah, that's what it's called. Sorry. So the southwest sector, and he'll be going down to the lower one. Following him all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. He will head into a larger building that's pretty close to one of the larger buildings in this whole town, city, whatever. And it looks to be an investigation, basically, like investigator station, like a police station kind of thing, generally.
Alright.
Effectively.
So, like, obviously, I'm not walking into the station. But
Okay.
I do want to see if he, I don't know, like leaves with someone. Like I'm trying to see if he's like reporting to someone or like
Sounds good.
whatever.
Make a perception check.
16.
Okay. It looks like he walks up. You are kind of looking through the windows. He looks like he walks up and places generally like a notebook into a desk, and then grabs a few things that include like a scarf and a hat, and he walks out.
Okay. And this is at like
This is
3 a.m.
Yeah,
-ish.
4 a.m.
Odd. Okay. I'll let him go home and go back to go.
Already. Sounds good. So she comes back like you cross sectors, so basically 2 hours later. You would have seen the guards change. All 5 of them are being replaced. Vesper walks back up to you. Anything you guys want to
So
do?
where was Mr. Imported off to?
Well, he just went back to, the office and then I presumably went home. He left whatever he was taking his notes in at the station, so don't know. Did he, I guess, seem to be acting suspiciously at all?
I wouldn't say so. He generally looked like he was just walking back. He wasn't looking over his shoulder, nothing obvious.
Okay.
Wasn't walking particularly fast or slow. I'd say maybe he looked a little tired, but anything you guys want to do or talk about for your last hour?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna keep playing with my cards though.
Sounds good. Practice. Okay, 6 a.m. Zoot and Prospero are going to be approaching the stand.
Suit's already up. It's ready.
Yeah, it's a ripe 6 a.m. It's perfect for you. Vesper, you obviously already slept, so you can do whatever.
I'll read my Hellsies book.
Ooh, okay. I will grab that. Prospero and Atticus, anything you guys want to do? Not Atticus, sorry. I'm so sorry. Prospero and Zoot. Wrong old guy.
Oh.
They're interchangeable, right?
Oh dear. I'm
Uh,
going to grab a coffee for the road.
Okay. I mean, if you wake up at 6, you can probably get one out of the tavern.
Keurig.
God, words are so hard. It's outrageous.
Zoot will grab a
Do
coffee
a
too.
sending stone swap.
Yeah.
Right. Sounds good. You guys grab your coffees, head on your way. Go ahead and make a perception check. Each of you.
There we go. That took forever.
Ooh, those are good rolls. Alright, so you guys are on watch, hanging out.
What do the guards look like today?
They are.
Your 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, these guys are the. This is the morning crew. This is first shift, so. You
They
know.
look alert or sleepy.
I mean, a little bit of both at the same time somehow. Probably also juiced up on coffee.
Good old bean juice.
That is exactly what it is, yep.
Bean juice. I mean,
It is. It really is.
Can we tell if the inspector's there yet?
The inspector does not look to be there. No, you guys are watching them rotates. Don't see anything too terribly interesting in there going on. No one walks up. Not too many people. I mean, there's people obviously like walking around the city during you guys' watch, but nothing too out of the ordinary. You don't see people peeking at you or doing anything weird.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah. God,
as long as you
sorry.
guys don't have anything you need to do during your 4 hours, everyone else kind of wakes up, gets ready. I don't know if you guys want to meet at the tavern or what. I guess it's up to Prospero and Zoot.
I
Should
mean,
meet
I
them where
feel.
they're at, to be honest.
What'd you say?
If I would have gone and met them where they're at,
Okay, sure, that works. Yeah, because you guys have like, obviously that was like a larger period than just 8 hours, so some of your sleep schedules are a little wonky, not walky.
a little bit walky,
Wonky.
but walkie talkie.
Yep, that's. Alright, you guys meet up, we'll say, in the street near where you guys were watching. I'll put you back on. We'll leave you on this map. So, what do you guys do? What's the convo looking like?
Chillin'.
Did Vesper tell us about like trailing the inspector?
Well, she just got
Sure.
to you, so.
Okay.
Well, when we
I
when
just
we
like when we
traded out,
traded. Like
Oh.
when we
yeah,
traded.
I would have given the rundown.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Makes sense.
Well, I mean, it sounds like legitimate gods. I mean,
You
I
know,
get. Go ahead.
I wonder if it would be too risky to try and get the inspector's notes.
I would think yes. At least by walking in and trying to steal them.
Well, of course not. I mean, perhaps trailing him again on his way home and, some temporary blindness?
He didn't take the notes with him, though. He left them at the police station or guardhouse or whatever.
I meant the walk from the house to the station.
Oh, we're going to mug him.
Well, not mug him.
We try to just talk to him and see what information he gives us.
I mean, From what Atticus said yesterday, he didn't give much, but okay.
I
Yes,
mean,
but I have things that Atticus doesn't.
Oh, tits,
Ooh,
right.
like what?
Yes.
Oh, oh, jeez.
You know the
Let's
spell
grow.
suggestion
Let's
too?
use this tactic for the 50th time.
just talking about our horns.
Well, I mean, it's kind of worked
Well,
before,
I
so
have
I
those
wouldn't be
too.
opposed to it.
All right.
I also think, I mean, if he left it at the police station, I think we could just walk in pretty easily.
And take it in front of all the other inspectors.
Why not?
Because I'm pretty sure they would know you don't belong there.
Or what if I got mugged? Pretty sure a goat could make it convincing with some good lightning switches.
Atticus could disguise himself as a god. Or not.
Um, well, I mean, I guess the information could be useful because I assume the people that burned this place down are the same people that we're looking for. But like,
I think it'd also be good to know if he's actually, you know, just doing a normal investigation, or if there's more there.
I suppose.
I feel like if he's investigating and Atticus walks up and talks to him, he's doing a terrible job investigating.
Just because someone walked up to him.
Someone that was known to be a mass murderer in this city. Yes, I would.
Allegedly.
Okay, allegedly was known to be a mass murderer in the city.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that was what sounded like quite a while ago.
What race is the inspector? Sorry.
He was Fairfolk.
I can guarantee he still remembers.
You think too highly of us. But
Sorry for the
yeah,
compliment.
yeah. How dare you? Anyway, I mean, I suppose trying to get some information out of him wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I would also like to say that if we're gonna do something like this, we can't really go in aggressive. If that wasn't already completely obvious.
But wait, I'm just saying, like, I could go in, create a distraction, someone could just walk in and grab it. You know, if they're disguised, or we can do Vesper's route. I obviously don't know how successful that is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm okay with either. Then again, I'm not also the one putting myself at risk, so if you guys feel comfortable doing that, then I suppose either plan works for me. What do the rest of you think? Especially the people that would be putting themselves in harm's way.
I think that disguising myself as a god and then having a distraction would be a good idea. So I could at least get in the building easily and then, sneak around.
Vesper, how much do you trust your ability? Because obviously one involves being in the middle of a police station. That's, going to be inherently more risky.
I mean, it really depends on how easy he is to read, I guess. And if like, I can't walk up to him while he's at the house and do what I need to do. I have to catch him when he's unsuspecting. I personally think that Atticus disguising as a guard has a much better chance of success in this instance.
Yeah, I mean, sure, almost everyone in the police station is a little bit distracted.
It just that depends on the turnover of guard rates, Perhaps they'll notice that they don't recognize him. and then they'll raise the alarm. So we have to find a reason for why he's entering the police station at that time.
Well, I mean, he could just be new. We don't really need him to, I mean,
So I don't know if Atticus should look like a guard as much as the inspector. He goes into the inspector's desk or whatever.
True,
Yeah.
it could be the inspector. I don't think he has set hours to come back to the place, the police station.
Well, if it's your job, you usually have a punch-in time, right?
Well, the inspector was out until the very, very late.
But he's
Last
the
night.
inspector, you know? Like, guards usually keep to their hours, wouldn't you think?
Well, no, I'm disguising myself as the inspector.
Oh. I'm sorry, I got confused.
I'm supposed to go meet some pontiffs today.
If you want to do this, I can, like, say that I was beaten up and mugged to get inside the door and to talk to some police officers. So I get someone to stab me a couple times, maybe. Oh, come on, I've been hit worse in fights before.
You want us to stab you?
Or you can burn me or something. I don't care. I got plenty of healing.
It's very casual.
Taking one for the team. Jesus Christ. I mean,
I'm not saying,
good.
like, kill me or anything, just, a couple hits.
Atticus just like throws a really lazy punch on his.
wait, I think the plan is to try to make them visible. Visible hits, Atticus.
Does another on the other shoulder, just this week.
Mm.
So, perhaps if we go with the idea of Atticus pretending to be the inspector, it could be. That's tricky. So after the inspector goes and drops off his notes at the station, Atticus could conceivably come back after he's left, and his explanation would be, like, if anyone asked, which I don't think anyone would ask what an inspector does, he could say something like, "Oh, I forgot I needed over these tonight," or something.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that works. I mean, I think we basically got the plan down. Just I mean, so we send in Renaud, be distracting, say he got mugged, and then we send in Atticus as the inspector to go check his notes. Sounds easy enough. Suppose the rest of us would be nearby in case there was an issue, but hopefully there isn't one.
I mean, I'm supposed to meet some pontiffs today.
Well, I'm not saying we do this right now. You can go.
Can we just talk about what you plan to talk about with the pontiffs?
Just ask them if they know anything about what happened to what's her face.
Cassia.
Yes,
Cassia.
but how do you know Cassia? Why are you here in Alinora? Like, what's your backstory here?
I met her in Search Hall. She lives in Alinora. She's not in Search Hall anymore, and she's not in Alinora.
So are you saying you came here to look her up? Like, what is going to be your explanation to why you're summoning them?
I mean, pretty much. She told me to meet that she lived in Alinora and that we should meet up the next day. She never showed up the next day, so I came over to Alinora because I have some free time. Went to her house, found her house. She's not there.
That sounds pretty suspicious. Perhaps you should tell them you were in love with her. It would give a little less, you know, not truth, but seemingly truth. Not many people would go across a very, very long distance just to check up on where someone is. You know, it seems a little bit suspicious. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I think saying I'm in love with someone I met once is a little more suspicious.
It's-
I mean,
Do you
don't have to say you
understand
met
the point of
once.
deception? Like, I'm just curious.
No.
Because you're able to get the white lie thing down, where you basically tell the truth, but you leave out the most important parts. But
Yeah, I have
totally
no idea.
lying is out of the question.
Yeah, I have no idea how deception works.
And you're somehow scamming people with cardistry.
Mhm.
No idea how deception works at all.
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm not even insight checking that.
it's good. It's a 27. I definitely don't know how deception would work.
Mhm. Well, I assume we have a decent amount of time before the inspector goes back to his office.
I mean, he has to get sleep at some point, right?
Well, I guess the question is, do we want to go in? Well, he will have his notes with him when he's at work, so we want to go in before he gets to work or after he leaves work. I guess I'm a little partial to after he leaves, so we'd have like the whole night. But if anyone has a different way of thinking, then we could do it before.
That seems better too. Darker and, you know, better chance of someone getting mugged.
Yeah, yeah, just like less people around, I guess was my idea. So
So we can just see what it also looks. I mean, like later on tonight, we can also just see if he does the same stuff.
yeah, and then if he does something different that might be sketchy, then we could do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
To be clear, you're not suggesting mugging him. You're suggesting doing the fake mugging on Reynard at night.
Yes. Just as backup if necessary, like backup inside the police station to be a distraction. So no one really tries to question Atticus disguised himself as the inspector. We're not trying to get anyone hurt here, except for maybe giving Renata a punch or two.
I think it'll take more than that.
Okay, maybe a knee as well, whatever. But yeah, I think that is the general plan.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So you guys are waiting to nighttime. It's currently about 10 a.m. 10, 11.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I assume there's stuff people want to do. But...
Yeah. So that is the cue. What does people want to do for the day?
I'm going to crack open my book on mysterious magical wounds.
Sounds good. I will get that information to you.
Zoot will go to the workshop. Well, here, everyone else do what they're doing first.
I'll stay on watch for a bit.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with Reynard.
Sounds good.
Go's gonna walk off.
Okay. Atticus.
I'll stand watch.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think Z would stay around too then.
Okay.
Start reading his other book.
while Raynard and I are watching the house, I guess. Can I ask you if you, I mean, you know what? Can I ask, do you have any stories um, about Lage, the king from Gwendolyn, and his guard owl things?
Like, do I have any idea what happened to the flame? Whatever. I forget the name of that flame. The one from like 100 years ago. Yeah.
Could you humor me and tell me the tale?
I mean, of like what happened with the flame, or
I
with
don't.
Late, or
What flame?
what was the? Man, it's been a while since I've heard of it. It's not like, hasn't been seen for something like 120 years, 150, 100. I don't remember. Sorry, I'm not good at the time. Just get the stories. So where to begin? I assume you know what happened with Queen Brenna, correct? How she, was cast out when her parents were killed, her dad, mainly.
Um, do I know?
Make a history check.
Come on, this is the most important
Yeah,
story in spirit.
Reynard is from a very nearby area, so this is like a decently known thing to him.
6.
Probably not.
No, I
Uh,
mean no.
well, obviously, over been 150 years now. So, the king of Gwendolyn was murdered. They say it was some assassin guild that was working at the time. The Crimson Kiss at the time, I believe. And no one knows exactly the person that hired at the time. There was some rumors later on that Bruno had said that, but not everyone believed her, or at least where I'm from. So he was murdered, and the next in line was supposed to be Brenna, except for there was a uprising by Leich and some of the other advisors for the king. They took over the castle. Brenna had to go into hiding with her advisor or mentor or something. And Leich was very anti-magic. He just didn't like the concept or people doing it. He thought it would create an unfair dynamic for balance and for people to hurt other people. But he was kind of an idiot, so then he used a variation of magic, powers given from gods. It didn't believe it was magic, even though it kind of was. Called it religion. And he abused this thing called the Flame of.
Keely.
I don't remember the name. Um, this flame gave people the powers to be stronger and easily controlled. They kind of gave their soul towards this goddess. Oh, Akili, that's right. Um, and this god was a goddess for the land, so a lot of the people there were very happy to do so, thinking that they were helping their country, helping their families. The king was even asking people to sign up, and they became very, very strong. And after a certain point, instead of just protecting the land, they decided to start expanding and killing other magic users. Uh, People that were in the fight at the end say that he had this very powerful relic that could stop magic within miles. Some say even like hundreds of miles, but I don't believe that because I mean, uh, country's not that big. So the story goes that he attacked. It's now called New Arrival by some, but Arrival. They There was pretty much a slaughter. No one saw the attack coming. People obviously knew that these owls were being controlled by Lage and Gwendolyn, but they were fairly much a don't come in our country and we'll have an issue. But after the attack on arrival, there was a lot of people mad about it. The Arkville Authority decided to try to get the people from Genalia and from New Westland involved in the fight to come in and help. Even tried to get some people from Reshna and Alinora, but I believe the New Westlands and the Alinorans fused. Genalians decided to come from the north and Arkville's from the west, attack them while they're in arrival. Thankfully, though, that while they were powerful in the orb, apparently there was a couple people that caused enough havoc in the inside, where the Arkville Authority was able to win the battle. But no one ever found the flame off that. A lot of people right now are claiming that Genalia has it and is using it, but I haven't heard of any proof. Just stories of stories of someone that was drunk. Don't really trust those drunk stories, even though I tell them. The big thing though was at the end, Leary, or I guess you went by Leary. Queen Brenna just apparently was part of this group that went in. Which doesn't make sense. She was a caster. I don't know why she went into an anti-magic field, so I don't believe that bullshit. I think it was a convenient story started by Gwendolyn on how to get behind her new queen after Lich died in the battle. But thankfully, she wasn't quite as much of an asshole as he was, so things have been going pretty well there. The flame again. I actually do think July is very likely to have it. The Arkville authorities, not the greatest of all time, but good enough to trust, in my opinion. And they,
Forgive me if I disagree.
I mean, where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yes.
Grew up in the north.
I grew up next to Arkville. They're not perfect. They're not fast, but at least they try to be fair to the people. It seems.
No, you don't think they'd use the flame instead?
I think that the bureaucracy of them would make it known. I don't think they've ever tried to do anything like quickly or undercover in the last 100 years successfully. Maybe 200. I mean, every single thing has to be a meeting, and then every single meeting has to have another meeting. And then there's someone writing on the notes from the meetings. And then every now and then there's interruptions at the meetings.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self to look like what Arya looked like when I saw her. Tell me, does this uniform remind you of anything?
I'm assuming at the roll.
Yeah, sure. Roll a history check. Okay. I would say that does loosely remind you of the description that you heard of the owl, like Emerald Howler uniform, very dark gray armor. But the weird thing is the stories you heard generally only like heavy plate armor. Otherwise, this person seems to be wearing kind of like a leather. It's the same exact color, very noticeable, very dark, like almost like smoky gray. But yeah, different kind of armor. She also holds well, she has like a coif as well, which also has like this kind of like glassy texture on front. It's like a visor basically. And like as you're kind of standing there, you see just for a moment it catches the light and it's just like a very bright green flash. And that part is like a really distinct detail that you do remember of the owls, as they have this like really weird, like unless you catch it exactly in the light, it just looks like just pretty standard glass. And she also holds a bow, which has kind of the same greenish glass sort of element to it.
This is gonna come off very sexist. Would I know of the females having a different uniform than the male owls? 'Cause I know
No,
most.
no. It's all the same. Just big old plate armor generally.
I'll kind of relay the looking like owls, but slightly different. Probably the rogue-like version or something. Like light fighters versus the heavy fighters, or the heavy fighters
Hmm.
of the owls, but it does not look like Parkville or anything like that. No country that I can think of anymore.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that
Someone has it.
Benalia is probably using it.
I would definitely place Janali over Parkville. But again, I mean, what do I know? I wasn't even alive when this happened. However, I have heard stories. God. Had heard stories of Denali having just other things happening in the leadership and the country being run that's not good news. People are getting a little antsy over there, but I was, not over there for a while, so I don't know exactly. Relatively recent thing, I think. Last couple years. I think someone said they're starting to use the tribunal more for just punishments for the bad than just that, but I don't know. Did you see Arya then? Or is this that dream you mentioned?
This was when I was astral projected.
Oh yeah, that's not a dream, huh?
No, it's very real. It's also very real that she doesn't know who she is anymore.
From what I heard about the owls, they lost their soul. And I don't think anyone managed to get it again. I mean, most were just killed in the fights. I don't even know what happened to the. Actually, hold on. Alex, what do I know what happened to the owls that were remaining after the fall?
Make a history check.
That's all I'm good for today, guys.
History check. History check. History check.
Not very good for today, apparently.
Fuzzy on that part.
Yeah. As far as I know, I don't think any turned back, but I really don't know. Actually, someone too that would know probably would actually be in Gwynlorn. I mean, those elves lived for quite a while. Probably a lot of them were there. Not too, a couple weeks journey, but compared to everything else, not too far.
I'm sorry, I need to go.
Everything
Walk
okay?
away.
Alrighty. Anywhere you'd like to go specifically? Just away.
Away.
Alright, sounds good.
I'll keep keeping watch on.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make a perception check.
It's a new role.
Woo! Okay. Alright, you're hanging out, watching the house. Not a whole lot going on that you can see. How long are you going to stay here for? It is currently about 11 a.m.
Until someone replaces me, or like
You
guard leaves.
you do have Zoot and Atticus with you as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just stay and look out / just mess around with Zoot and Atticus then.
All right.
Kind of read some books in downtime, like kind of mingle around. Maybe try a beer or two.
Sounds good. Anything else anyone else has to do?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. I will say, actually, Vesper, would you have had that conversation specifically with Reynard alone?
I mean, if the other people were like on watch with us, I would have done it in front of them.
Okay. Sounds good. So you guys were just sitting there, hanging out, listening. Actually, we'll say, just since you guys didn't talk, we'll say you guys were like grabbing food. You know, you guys just walked away to grab food for like 10 minutes. So you guys weren't there for that.
Okay.
Just because I think, yeah, we'll do that. We'll say that.
If we were there, we probably could have chimed in.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. So we'll say you weren't. We'll say the two old folks went and grabbed LaCroix to go, which you can get in Alinora. Exactly.
It comes with like a brown bag around it.
It's a little tiny pop can with a brown bag. Sure. All right. So unless anyone has anything else to do, we can kind of move forward towards the evening time when you guys kind of indicated you wanted to
Play my violin.
Okay. Okay. In the stealth box.
No, I'm going out in the street.
Okay. Make a performance check.
When our plan goes into action.
Okay.
The
It's
action music.
yeah, action music.
Violin in hand pan
Okay.
as we're just, like, sneaking up.
I'll say you pick up. I just rolled a number and then totally forgot it. 23 silver.
Oh.
Just hanging out. Decent amount of that would be a copper, but it's okay. Okay, so we'll say it gets around towards dinner time. You guys are doing your various things, hanging out, assuming everyone is coming together again at like 9 p.m. or so. We'll say. Meeting back up, unless anyone has any problems with that. All right.
Nope.
Nope.
All
I
right.
guess at any point before then, we would have seen the inspector go in.
You guys would have seen him go in probably about like 5 or 6. Yeah, probably like 6 p.m. So you guys meet back up.
Coming
Yeah.
back.
2 jobs or
Vesper
something?
Alright.
does not show, but the other 5 of you are here.
I mean, she's part of the backup plan, but not part of the main plan.
I don't think we should do anything without her. Do we? Who last saw her?
Oh,
Where is
you?
she? Yeah.
She we were
What
talking
happened?
about. She was telling me about Aria and how she asked me if I saw or knew what she looked like, recognized what she looked like. I told her looked like one of the owls from Gwendolyn, 150, 120 years ago.
Does Prospero know what Gwendolyn is?
Go ahead and roll a history check. I mean, you've probably heard of the country at least. We'll see. Yeah, you don't really remember much. I mean, I'm guessing you would have heard of like a big old war, and Gwendolyn, and like just about that's like about approximately all the detail.
Can like Raynard give me the spark notes of their conversation off? Like, I'll just say we don't have to go through the thing.
Sure. Yeah. Spark
So-
notes would be like a little bit like the war that happened in Gwendol, that they used owls that were like mindless-ish type of people that kind of gave up their souls, and that Arya looked like one of them, but a little different, but pretty much like one of them.
So
And then she ran off after.
I wonder if I'm sure. I mean, I hope nothing happened to her. Maybe that she just wants to be alone. But I won't feel easy until I make sure. So she never showed us to where her rental property is, though.
Oh yeah, she didn't.
Let me see what I have up my sleeve. She doesn't have a sending stone with her, does she?
Not anymore.
I believe she would have passed it off to me or you for our
Okay.
shift.
I will cast sending then
Alrighty.
and say, "You up?" No. I'm gonna I'm gonna say, Vesper, are you okay? We are going to do the plan.
You got 15
Okay.
more words if you want it.
God, you up is such an old meme in our campaign.
I'll say, Reynard told me about your conversation. It's okay if you don't want to come.
Tell me where to meet you.
Where are we?
You're near Cassie's house. The stakeout.
And I can send one more.
You can, no, it's just the one. So you can recast it and send it again.
Ugh. 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 Do I leave her on red or do I recast?
Tell me where to meet you. That's it.
Nothing.
That's just, that's it.
I guess I'll recast. I'll say, where are we? Like, I know we just said we're near Cassia's house, but like, do you have a precise location? Maybe 3 blocks
The camp
east of
outside.
Cassia's house.
Same general area we were in before.
Say, near Cassia's house, same area as before,
So been like where she left us. So yeah.
where you left us.
Heard.
Brutal.
You got a red.
At least she left her red receipts on.
Alright. Sounds good. So, Vesper, are you indeed coming?
Yeah, I'll come.
Alright, sounds good. So you find your way over. Like, 20 minutes, 15 minutes later, whatever. A bit later, Vesper shows up. Now the whole squad is here. What would you guys like to do?
Well, do you want us to take the same shifts as yesterday? Or, well, I mean, I guess we're all staying up because we need to be here when the inspector leaves. During what shift do you leave again? The second one.
It was the second one. Yeah, like shortly into the second one.
Okay. So I mean, I guess we don't all need to be here right this second, but I guess expectedly around midnight is when maybe we meet up. I mean, we could stake out here all together if you feel like it. I just kind of wanted to, yeah, get some food or something.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Oh boy, this is rough. Alright. So everyone's hanging out? No one's leaving?
I don't have a purpose in the plan, so
Well, it's like to come back later, basically. So are you staying here the whole time, or are you leaving and coming back? Because it's currently going on 10.
I'll come back later.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoot's basically saying he's gonna get them street meat and he'll be back in a bit.
I'll also come back later.
Alright.
I would say like we could also have like Prospero and Zoot turn in for the night early, and then like take over after, and then like Atticus and I do the thing while everyone else is busy. But also fine to have everyone together, obviously.
Mhm.
Split the party. Split.
Yeah, we might. I mean, I think we just stay in the area. If this goes late, it goes late. I can always nap during the morning. At some other point. I think having everyone accessible is important in case something goes wrong, which I know is unthinkable. We've never messed up anything in our lives, but
Yep.
it might be worth consideration to just keep everyone here, or in like the general area.
All right, sounds good.
Oh no.
I think that's like Twitch terms of service or something. Okay, well, anyway.
Ignoring that.
Yeah, that's a curveball.
We'll just end the session there, right?
So I'll
That'd be
just
okay
I'll
with
just
ending
chop
session.
that part off of the video. Just right before that. Just,
You know, there are just some things you really have to express, and you
Or
know
just like
you shouldn't.
didn't want to read.
You know, funny
No,
enough,
I
that
don't.
wasn't one of those things, Danielle. That was not one of those things.
I know.
No.
I just couldn't. I'm sorry.
It definitely could have. You
I'm sorry
100%
to my
could have.
followers.
It really
I
did.
disappointed you.
Yeah. If you support Danielle, please say hashtag Danielle under the YouTube comment.
Danielle's over, like my
Yeah.
Instagram, like my Instagram handle.
Yeah, plug Instagram, do everything. Viewer.
Danielle's over party.
shit, the mods are in on it. Alright, anyway. Now, whatever the fuck we were doing in the game, no one
Yeah,
remembers
that-
anymore. I think we're just gonna leave
Okay.
Alinora. It's just.
It could have been important.
Yeah, nothing was
I
important.
think we're watching.
Yeah, I think we've got a couple people watching, a couple people eating dinner. / maybe bringing dinner back.
I
Can't even
request
say
anything
street meat
besides
anymore.
falafel for dinner.
Okay, it'll be street meat, but like the hot dog kind. So Prospero can still do his
Is
thing.
it better? Is it worse?
Oh, worse for
Just
sure.
notices that his
Ooh.
hot dog is a little moister than he
Oh
wishes.
god. Okay, so what are we doing to try to get this guy's notes? We're just waiting until he leaves, right?
Yeah.
That's step one of the plan.
Okay, Zoot, you came back, right?
Yeah, I'd come back like well
We just
before
street
he
meat.
went last time. Yeah.
Prospero, when do you come back?
20 minutes after Zoot.
You don't know when Zoot came back.
Uh,
What time?
midnight.
Okay, sounds good. Go, Zach.
Just been wandering around the upper layer, looking at the buildings all lit up at quote unquote night.
Sounds good.
So come back, I don't know, probably around the time that his watch would have started last night.
Okay. So it would have been. It was 2-ish.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. So yes, the investigator has come in. He will be in there working. You guys see the same general guard rotation. Anything you guys want to do? Everyone is here by 2 o'clock. Anything you guys want to do leading up to that time or at that time or anything?
I'm making sure no one is watching us.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Wait.
Certainly doesn't look like it.
Oh.
It looks like it one less now. As far as you can tell, there's no one watching you. Everything looks safe and clear. Atticus approved.
Can I read another book while we wait?
Sure. Well,
All right.
yeah, sure. At least you can start.
Elemental plane of water.
Sounds good. You start reading that. About 3:30 or so. Oh, go ahead and everyone make a con save for me, please. So you guys are getting real tired. Whew. God damn. Oh,
Yikes.
yikes. Alright, Prosper, you have a point of exhaustion. As this night continues, you disadvantage on ability checks. But everyone else, you guys are holding up alright so far. Like I said, about 3:30 or so, the front door opens. Out comes the inspector. Begins walking his same route that Vesper would recognize as last night.
Like, dab.
You want to? Yeah.
No.
What are you doing? Who's doing what? What's going
I'm
on?
watching. Are we stealthing behind him?
Are you?
Is there like another route to the investigator station?
Yeah, you could take another one if you'd like.
Can I
There's
take a
several
different
bridges.
route? I want to take a different route.
Sure. Are you trying to be stealthy through the city?
I guess. Like, I mean, just I guess not trying to draw attention to myself, but all I'm doing is walking at this point.
Okay, that's casual. You don't need a stealth check to walk. As long as there's no one around you that specifically should be, whatever. All right, so you two are going. Anybody else going?
I'm
gonna go also.
yeah.
Alrighty. Everyone coming then?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't have a part of the plan, but yeah.
Yeah, Zoot's kind of thought process is he wants to be accessible in case something goes like really wrong, but in general he would be like pretty far away.
Alrighty, sounds good.
I think like I would have like if Vesper's like following and like anything close, I would be like barely able to see Vesper range type thing, assuming that we're going by the police station.
Vesper
So.
is taking a different direction, so she's not following him. She's just going to where he will end up, essentially.
Okay. Same thing. Still.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys are following Vesper, who is going to the investigative police station kind of area. So
Yeah.
Vesper, you do make it there. What would you like to do? You will be the first. Everyone else is kind of behind you a little bit.
I guess just do like do I see the guy? Is he coming? Has he left already?
Sure, make a perception check.
15.
15. All right, you do see him. 2 streets down. He is not yet here, but he is on his way. He is walking fairly slowly. He looks quite tired.
He took a point of exhaustion too.
He sleeps in the middle of the day. It's different.
Make sure you get that in the disguise.
So, anything you like to do as he is approaching yet?
Well, at this point, I think we should be stealthy.
Go ahead. Roll a stealth check.
And then
Anyone who is going to stay close enough to be able to do anything, go ahead and make a stealth check. Anyone else? I guess you guys back away a little bit. Stay in sight range.
I would back away a pretty decent amount of ways.
Alrighty.
'Cause, like, I don't think getting beaten up in front of him will work. So.
Atticus, are you going forward?
Yeah, I'm pretty much sticking with Vesper and watch.
Sounds good.
I'll back up.
Okay.
Can we also make sure that the speaking stones are on like Vesper and then someone in the?
Sure.
I assume Vesper's kind of Are you not keeping a lookout? That's kind of like the.
Who do you want them on?
I mean, I guess.
I guess.
You guys had several hours to decide this, so. before.
Sure, I'll have
Okay.
one.
We'll
Alright.
have one on like Vesper and then one on like the group that's kind of staying close for.
Okay, who's got it? In the other group.
I guess Zoot can have it
Alrighty.
unless anyone else wants it.
So Vesper have the sending stones. Okay, Atticus, go ahead and make. Oh, you did. Sorry, I just missed it. Alrighty, so you guys are hanging out and waiting for him to approach. He is approaching. He doesn't seem to have noticed you. He's not looking your direction. He's kind of just tunneled on kind of the ground in front of him and where he's going. But he's walking towards you, towards the door,
Making his way.
making his way. Indeed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like watch like I did last night, see if he like puts the notebook down in the same spot, etc., etc.
Indeed, he will go to the same desk and he will place it down, open the drawer, put it in, grab the rest of his stuff out of his other drawer.
Does it look like he like locks the door at all, or
Make a perception check.
14?
You do not see. He looks like he stops for a second, and potentially is locking it, but you don't actually see it from your vantage point. So he's heading towards the door to leave. What would you guys like to do? Atticus and Vesper.
No, I'm just
waiting
gonna
for
let him
you.
leave.
Yeah.
Okay, he walks out. Sounds good. Walks away. Very slow. He's putting his hat on, his coat, walking away. Door closes behind him, and he's gone.
I make sure to take note of what his appearance was.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Can I don't know, with maybe the same perception check. Did he like put a key in his pocket or anything?
He would have locked up the door going into the station. You would have seen that, and then he put a key away there.
I really want to just like bump into him and try to pickpocket him, but I feel like that's a really bad idea.
Who
You
knows?
got it.
Who knows? It all depends on the dice whether or not it's a bad idea.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Alrighty, so you swing around.
I'm gonna like kind of like hold my hand up to Atticus, like just wait here, and I'm gonna like kind of put my head down. I'm gonna like start crying a little and just like straight beeline like run into him.
Okay, make a deception check.
18.
18. Alright, you walk up to him. You're dropping some tears, sobbing a little, bump into him, and you're going for.
I'm trying
key?
to grab keys. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
I'm proficient in this, guys.
Good, good. Does it matter?
24.
Oh shit. Okay.
Number, let's go.
Okay. He bumps into you and kind of like, sorry about that.
That's my fault. Really sorry. It's just been a terrible day.
It's fine. Starts walking away.
God.
And
I
you
don't know.
have.
I guess I like kind of have to go in the same direction because that's what I was walking. But I as soon as I can, kind of like
turn.
duck
Okay.
and circle back.
Okay. And you did snag out of his pocket a keychain with 4 keys on it.
Poor man's gonna get home and not be able to get into his house.
He absolutely is.
Let's go quick. Let's go quick. Let's go quick. Circling back and tossing the keys to Atticus.
Alrighty.
Alright, I grabbed it.
Alrighty. Fuddle through. Open the front door, I'm assuming, with the keys.
When
no,
he
wait, no.
Oh,
I
not
was
yet.
waiting for Reynard.
Okay, my bad.
when I hand off the keys, I'm gonna say, just leave them on the desk when you leave. Maybe he's so tired he'll think he just left them there.
Good call, good call.
Okay.
Because the enthusiasm I had before for getting stabbed. I'm gonna like cut up my shirt with my dagger and like cut myself and like get like 1 or 2 actually deep cuts like in the arm or
Oh
something.
shit. Okay.
And like
Oh my
really like
God.
scuffing my clothes.
Go ahead and roll damage on it.
I'll do like 3 cuts.
Okay.
4 cuts. Yeah.
Sounds good. You don't have to roll the hit because you're hitting yourself.
I
Dodge.
don't know how else to do it, so
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying ignore the to hit, but take the damage. Oh. Shit. that was
four,
a-
four, 3, 4.
Holy shit. Alright, so you take 27 points of piercing and slashing and self-mutilation
Oh my
damage.
God.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was a
Playing the
4. So this is with a dagger, obviously. Max roll. 1 below max roll. You'll never roll that high ever
Hey.
again. But you look pretty fucked up because you are. So that's the good news.
Well, I did do a speech earlier, so.
Okay, so yeah,
That'll
just
work.
10 less.
Uh,
Oh, we have temp.
I
11.
definitely
just
didn't
Vesper.
find that story inspiring, so I did not get my temp HP.
Rainer's just inspired to tell a story.
Yeah, it only matters if I'm inspired.
He gets
You've got to
down.
be inspired
Vesper
to
is-
inspire everyone else.
Yeah, true.
I'll go into the police station and like very much make sure I like look like a mess, like almost crying and
Okay.
like please help me, please help me.
Make a deception or performance check.
Oh.
Like 30 or 60 seconds later, I cast Alter Self, and kind of slowly trudge in the same, depressed, exhausted way that he was.
While they are inside, keep an eyes out for him coming back.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
14.
14, sounds good. You are on the lookout. So Atticus, you bumble your way in.
Yeah.
What are you doing inside?
I'm kind of like muttering under my breath, just like, oh, I fucking forgot that stupid document. Like trying to make my voice sound like, the guy that I talked to.
Okay. Rainer, where are you? You're outside the place, you're saying?
No, I walked in and like was like, oh god, I need help, like yelling at a police officer to help me as soon as I run in the door.
Oh, it is locked. The front door.
But
That's why I had to get the keys.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said there's a box lock like inside.
Oh, she asked about that, and then she asked about the front. Like if she saw him putting any keys away, and I said yes as he was leaving and locking up.
Was there? I'm gonna like follow Atticus a little bit behind him then when he walks in.
Okay.
And start like yelling for help from a police officer.
Okay.
Like inside, like I need help, like help me.
Sounds good. Atticus, do you have any reaction to that?
Making my way. I'm just gonna be like, someone help him. I'm too fucking tired for this right now. I forgot a note.
Okay.
How many people are inside then?
Oh, there's no one inside.
There's actually no one at all.
Nope. It's
Oh,
like
that's rich.
3 a.m. right now. Or I guess it'd be like closer to 4:30.
They're working by themselves.
Not
then.
even a receptionist stabs himself a bunch.
Oh, I make my way to the
But
office.
then while I'm inside, well, okay, is there like things like video cameras or anything in this world, like type of? I assume not. Like,
No.
Is that like a thing of an artificer would be?
Not here,
Not
at least.
Yeah.
But, then I'll like get like complete composure on that.
Write that down. Write that down.
And just kind of wait around for Atticus.
Okay. Okay, so Atticus, you walk in.
Better over prepared than under.
You know, yeah.
I walk in.
Sure, it's true.
And I start looking for the notebook.
Alrighty. It is. You can walk over to see, generally where his desk was. You do see that drawer does have a keyhole or like a lock on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try all the
Alright.
keys.
Yep.
whatever.
You find 1 out of 4 to work. Open it up. Inside is a notebook. There's actually 2 technically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it.
Just the one?
Well,
Or you take both?
I'll check the other one to make sure it doesn't have anything to do. Just kind of like scan through
Okay.
towards like the end, see if there's anything to do with that case.
The other one looks to have. It does not. It does not look to have anything to do with this case.
Yeah, then I just.
Looks to be older.
Does it look like a normal case, like nothing weird at least?
Yeah.
nothing
I
that's,
mean,
like,
on a
been
quick scan,
damaged
it's kind of
or-
hard to catch. You just don't catch anything like related to what you're looking for. I will say the notebook itself looks older, and also he has some of the pages dated, and they are definitely like months ago. And like kind of as you get towards the back, it's a little bit more recent, but the very front probably would be almost a year ago. But it just looks like random notes.
Yeah. I'll lock the drawer.
Okay.
And leave the keys on. Or no. Yeah. I'll have to leave the keys on the desk.
Lock the door, leave the keys on the desk. Alrighty.
I would yell at him not to leave the keys on the desk, to leave them, like lock up the building and leave them there, like on the floor ground or something.
Like
Okay.
in the key.
Like, oh, I accidentally dropped them in my pocket when I was leaving instead of putting them away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Sounds good. So are you gonna leave them on the ground, like you said?
Yeah. I'm sure
Okay.
no one will take them.
Is
So
the
yeah.
ground stone?
Yeah.
I would put it like a corner or something where it looks pretty well hidden. Like, it fell, but in a spot that like might be believable, or maybe in the dirt, like a couple of feet away or something.
Yeah,
so
is there
close.
anywhere with dirt?
It's probably like a little bit like kind of cobblestoney, so there's a little bit of dirt in the like kind of in the cracks of the stone.
Okay, I'm
Not
gonna
like
put it
enough
on
to
a
like
dirt
pool or anything, but like enough to like if it landed right, it probably wouldn't make too much noise, kind of thing, or whatever.
And also, I'm gonna wipe away the keys for fingerprints
With
But not the desk that you touched.
with my cloth. Yeah.
with your cloth. Okay.
Well, it's too late now.
Sounds good. So you wipe it off real quick, rub one out. I mean, nope. No, just kidding.
Rub it off. I mean,
I
Rub
came
one
under
off.
fire?
I said
One
rub
of you
one out.
said rub one out,
The other one
and
said
one of you said
Deep throating a falafel.
Which is totally different.
like the
that
satyrs
I
taught him
learned
is
from
what
a
was
satyrs.
bad
Yes.
for me.
yeah, the satyr part, that's what really got me.
Well, I had to make it connect. You couldn't just do that for no
It
reason.
had to be.
You're right. That did make it a lot better.
Had to be a lore-based
Continuity.
deep throat, you know.
Yeah, if Danielle just writes in the chat, it's weird. But if she writes in the chat in that context, then it's part of the
Still
game.
Yeah.
Fine, it was great. I'm just
Frostro's just learning
underappreciated.
about the
It was
world,
pretty
man.
funny. It was pretty.
It was
Still, like,
disturbing and
totally
funny
got
at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? You guys are just leaving, checking out, heading out. Check.
Yes.
Yep.
Dashing perpendicular to the path that the actual
Alright.
suspect took.
You were dashing.
And also, as soon as I get in
Perpendicular.
the shadows, I kind of take the spell off, make sure no one's looking before I do.
Sounds good.
I'd heal myself up then. Oh man, that's really
R.I.P. in the
I
chat.
give Reynard a very like sad but good job high five.
enthusiastic, but there's a high five that you
Best supporting actor.
Yeah.
You don't get paid for shit, but you get an award. Good job. Okay. So where are you guys heading? It's approximately 4:30 a.m.
Back to our sketchy hideout.
Okay. Okay. So you guys will get back by about 5:30.
Can we go to my house
If you want.
Sure.
instead of like? Because when you say sketchy hideout, do you mean Zoot's house or do you mean like the middle of the street?
Yeah.
Or the inn we were
I'm
at.
at either of the houses really. They're both pretty sketchy hideouts.
Yeah. Sure.
Suit's house is not sketchy,
Let's
dirty.
go to my house.
All right. So you guys head on down to the Airbnb. Vesper's Airbnb. It would take you. Yeah, it would still take you about an hour to get there. So it's about 5:30 in the morning when you guys arrive.
Jesus Christ.
Reynard's still kind of reeling from his wound. Here, I'll change this to be.
Probably should have checked that, huh, before we just.
I unlock the door.
All right. You open the door.
I avoid all
Inside,
rugs around the
fairly nice little place, you know. Little 2-bedroom. Got a nice little kitchen.
2-bedroom. Oh no.
Yep. There's a couch.
Huh?
Make it work.
It's
A few people on the
more
floor.
bedrooms than Zoot's house.
True.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
on the walk back, could I have at least asked if we got to the key? She could have made a copy of it, and we wouldn't have gone through all that.
Oh. Well,
You're asking if I could have done that?
Yeah, if we got you the key, could you make a copy of the key?
Oh, if you gave me a couple hours, probably, but I
don't think we had time for that.
No,
Yeah.
it was just a genuine question. No,
Yeah,
in the
I
future.
mean, oh well, okay. If we, what type of key is it? Like, if I took a mold of this key, is it like like able to get a mold, or is it like
I mean,
is it like
potentially.
super fucking complex or
No,
something?
no, it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like a super easy. Like it's not. It's probably wouldn't have been the easiest thing you've ever seen, but I mean, it didn't look that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have made one if you got a mold of it, but it's this. It's a pain in the ass anyway. Then I have to ask Leonard to borrow his press.
Classic Leonard.
Yeah.
Are we gonna read this now or get some sleep? Because Reynard looks awful.
That was kind of the point.
Oh yeah, and you did a real good job. I was just gonna like pat him on the back and cast Cure Wounds.
Alrighty.
Am I the only one that finds it weird that this one police officer works late and literally no one else?
11 for you, Rainer.
I mean, he's an inspector. He's not just to run up the middle of the yard. Like, they have different schedule.
But I feel like someone should be working besides him. You know, just backup or something. I don't know. Someone just to make sure that if someone gets mugged at 3 in the morning, they're not just completely dead. Like, what was it? What if I was actually stabbed?
Then
kind
you
of weird.
probably would have died because you took enough injuries to kill a peasant.
You took enough injuries to kill a pheasant or a peasant.
10 times over.
Both very low health. I wonder what has
Peasant
more.
have more HP.
I feel like a peasant probably has more HP than a pheasant, because a pheasant's probably like a 1 or 2, a peasant's probably like a 3 or 4.
Okay.
It's got a lot more HP. It's got twice as much. Anyway.
So, are we reading it or not?
Read it.
I'm cracking it open.
Though I could use the rest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I think Prospero could definitely use the rest.
yeah. Maybe read through it.
Yeah, how about read through it so we don't have to do something tonight, and if not, just
I'm gonna open it to the very, recent.
Alrighty, so you about 2/3 of the way through. What's up?
Well, I was just gonna say, just say, yeah, I'll be napping over here. Tell me.
Classic. Alrighty, so you open about 2/3 of the way through. Find a current date of 3 days ago, or no, 2 days ago. I think I don't know. My brain doesn't work. And you see notes that basically say, got a warning. What's the term? Like, got a call, a tip, I guess, about some sort of disturbance here. Sounded like a loud explosive sound. Few individuals mentioned seeing a flash of light outside, but then didn't see much after that. A few people were standing outside late at night, listening to a bard, possibly drunk, hard to say. First kind of investigation into the house that people seemed to believe it was coming from. find it to be empty. No signs of any owner or any individual staying here. Upstairs room was horribly burned. No marks from outside, which leads me to believe there was some sort of cover-up potentially, or very strange magical explosive used. And kind of rambles on after that a little bit. But the next day basically goes on about finding a few scorch marks in the dining room and in the hallway, like the opening room, as well as on the stairs and stuff. Curious about whether or not those two are connected. Probably are. Probably the house burned slightly in the downward direction. Very confused as to why there's nothing in the hallway. But so far no leads as to who it might have been.
The upstairs hallway or the downstairs?
The upstairs hallway. Also we would mention that they did find the dead animals with weird, like, lacerations in their back, basically.
But no, like, theorizing on the nature of the laceration.
No, nothing too deep on that. He basically just mentions, like, we'll have to get someone that knows what they're talking about to do that. It's like, he pretty much writes, like, if I knew better, I would try to guess, but I have no idea what this is. Like, it looks...
Been there for 2 days, and this is all he came up with.
Yeah, he started theorizing a little bit about potentially the bard might be related that people saw outside. Possibly some sort of weird magical incident that vaporized the person doing it, like an experiment of some sort, which he would have also noted. It's been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, so there's a decent amount of, like, guesses, but a lot of them are just like stuff like that.
I mean, he works on the night shift. Like, he's probably not the best investigator that they have.
Yep. Yes, indeedy.
Really thought there'd be something interesting in here.
So did I. It seems pretty pathetic, honestly.
Yeah.
We should talk to the city about his job.
2 reasons
I mean,
to go to
he
the council.
seems to think that a bard is maybe partially responsible, so he's not entirely stupid.
I feel like I was the only one. You and I were the only ones not responsible for that, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
I
like,
did throw a
saying
fire
that, well,
elemental into a giant chasm, though.
when I said that, also I'm just like staring at Atticus, like.
That face.
Did you end up going to talk to the Pontiffs today?
Can't hear you.
He's muted. I hear him in the background of Grant.
No. You yelled at me, so I went to go party instead.
What are you, 12? No, sorry, I'm asleep.
Yes.
Like in the corner.
In goblin years, yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Do you frequently party without drinking?
Yeah.
Sounds boring.
It's a cultural thing.
What do you do at the parties then?
Why are you looking at my bio, Alex?
Muted. Alex, you're muted still.
Go without my permission.
Still muted.
Muted forever.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Stop talking to Danielle. Focus on us.
Oh wait, let me server unmute him. No.
Hello. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I didn't mute myself
That
on my
beautiful
headset
voice.
or anything. It was just Not working. Okay, sick. I said I was just looking at your age because I was curious.
No, I'm more like 18, not 12.
So what do you do at a party without alcohol?
Don't know, enjoys the experience.
I feel attacked right now.
Like, just enjoys the atmosphere.
But then you could do it with alcohol instead. It's like it's better.
I've always found that being around other people who are drinking while you're not drinking to be very like annoying.
I don't think that's happened to me.
Look, it's just a cultural thing. I don't really drink. So, like, when I go to a party, I don't really drink.
Oh, I'm not saying that you should drink. I'm just curious. That's all. I bet people would pay you a lot more if they were drunk while you were doing cards, though. Probably helps.
You know, okay, Henrich, I think you have your voice coming through your computer also.
I actually kind of think so too, yeah.
So I think we're
The mics do some weird shit.
imagine just having to talk to your computer, weirdo. I don't know about that one, Vesper. I usually get paid by drunk people, and I don't get paid as much as you guys do. I think they're usually too busy paying for the alcohol to want to pay for everything else. Maybe it's because I'm bad at making sure I get the money. I'm pretty drunk by then.
Hmm.
Did any of you hear what I just said?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now it's not coming through the computer.
Nice.
Yeah, got it on the headset now.
Yeah,
Definitely sounds like
it sounds a lot better.
Okay. That's annoying that it wasn't coming through that before.
I feel like I internalized it at the start of the session, and then for some reason I didn't say anything about it or really think anything about it.
It
It's
was
just
more
like,
recently.
weird. Maybe.
He walked away before, and that's fine.
So, what are you guys doing? Got the information
Sleep.
read out of the book. Just sleeping?
I'm asleep in the corner.
Alrighty.
Unintentionally.
Zoot's been napping in a chair for the past like 30 minutes while you were reading it.
I'm going to read through this second half of my water book and then
Yes.
sleep second half of the night.
Sounds good.
I
To be fair, it is like 6 a.m., so it's already like deep in the second half of the night. But yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go lay down in the bed, but not fall asleep ever.
Lovely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a long.
I will just go to bed because someone stabbed me. That's kind of been a long day.
Someone.
Neglects to mention that it was self
It could have been anyone.
inflicted.
Who would do such a
I think Atticus is gonna take an old man nap as well.
Somebody stabbed me.
Taking the couch.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you guys wake up the next morning. Generally around 2 p.m. unless you're Gozak. Or Vesper who doesn't sleep.
Mhm.
Gozak, you wake up at like 10 a.m. or so. So, 2 p.m. rolls around. Assuming there's nothing else you guys want to... Oh, no, wait. You said you slept after. So, you would also wake up at 2 p.m. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got it. Eventually. We're getting there. So, what do you guys want to do now? It is now afternoon. Now that you're waking up.
Prospero's gonna wake up with a start. You're like, what happened? Who got
Oh, your exhaustion's gone now, by the way.
I still want to wake up.
No, that's fine. That wasn't related. Sorry, it just popped in my head.
Okay, one more time. Who is this? What is it? Morning.
Yeah, morning.
Is anyone in the same room as me?
If you're in
Yes,
the
I am.
main living
Zoot,
room,
Atticus,
Two
are
old men.
thing. I don't know where everyone else
Waking
is.
up next to two old men.
They'll probably
Just
posted
like
up
I
in one of the
like.
bedrooms.
Okay.
I like to think that dude like kind of stands his armor up next to him and just like and
Just
leans
jumps
on-
into it in the morning.
Yeah, well, it only takes an action for me to put on my armor.
Yeah.
So I assume he just Iron Man's it. He just takes a
Just
step into it and just
touches it.
just Iron Man's him. Yeah.
What happened last night? I'm
Eh,
sorry, I was
Didn't
terribly
find
tired.
anything.
Well, we wasted our
Nothing.
time. Yeah.
Well, we got the journal, right? What did it say?
Oh, you wait. I was asleep too. Never mind.
The investigator is a bad investigator.
Yes, nothing
So-
of note, it seems. He certainly no conspiracy going on. He's not, part of anything other than just the force, of course.
So do you guys think if we come back in like, I don't know, 3 days or something, it'll just be gone? Checking every now and then?
Yes, I hope so.
So, I mean, I suppose we could just wait them out. They're not going to sit on the house.
Yeah, I mean, if he's an
Find
actual
something to do.
investigator, eventually someone's gonna yell at him for being so incompetent and tell him to do something else.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if we really think that the house is the way to go, then that's probably our only option.
Do we have any other options that that don't include the house at all? Like any other ideas?
What
Uh,
Gozak was doing.
Partying?
Which, once again, I didn't do. I went and partied.
I'm not gonna go sober
Yes,
party.
You can go
Uh,
back, I believe.
Talking to the pontiffs?
Yes, those dreaded twins.
I think that's our only natural lead here.
I mean, there is also the author of the yokai book. I mean, I think he's
Yeah.
just straight up wrong, but he is. I believe you said that he lives in Alinora.
Yes, I believe I can check it in my notes, but I'm pretty sure it's Upper Tritair.
Yeah.
We
So
could
When
I
did we
also-
figure that out?
What'd you say?
yes.
When did we figure that out?
Towards the end of last session, Zoot did a history check, and he's like a moderate, like, not celebrity, but like he's like a fairly well-known guy. Well, he writes
The
often.
thing
He's
Yeah.
a
was,
columnist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he writes
Yep.
for the
Yep.
column here in Alinora, so he's
Yeah.
I knew
in
that. I
Alinora.
just didn't realize we figured out where he lived.
Zoot,
believe so.
Zoot knew where he lived. Yeah.
And if not, you just
Um,
figured it out. So.
Let's go. I
we
mean,
could
I guess
also try Atlas. I mean, this is a magic thing. He's probably pretty decent for magic things if he's going to be an archmage.
well, Atlas is not in the city at all.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, like, as an option, as someone that might actually have some information that might
You
be.
seem like you really want to talk to Atlas.
I
This is
really
like
do
the
wanna talk to
5th
Atlas.
time you've brought him up.
Yes, I really do want to talk to Atlas.
I mean, he's a famous person. Reyna, tell us stories. Perhaps you'll have some stories to tell, Reyna.
That's literally it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
one
heard with
day
that.
I was sitting outside the town and I made a phoenix and everyone clapped and then I got my dick sucked by myself because I'm such a great guy.
Okay, but he
That's
actually-
Atlas.
Was
I
that
have
in
a
the
feeling
Satyr book
Gozak
too?
doesn't want to meet Atlas.
Chapter
I don't-
6.
I don't know. I've only read the third one.
Oh God, he's that kind of kid.
I mean, like, he actually is a good person. It sounds like, and I do want to see if everything's true about him. So
Yeah, I mean, if we run into him at some point, I don't know if it's really worth our time to try to go out of our way for the fact that he might talk to us, but if we run out of options, that might be something we can look at.
just going back, there was like a wizarding school or some sort of school. Was it wizarding?
The
Bard
Crystal
school.
Chrysalis, point 13.
Yes.
That's not where he works though.
no.
Yes, it is.
It's where he's becoming the Archmage.
The crystal. I thought
He's-
someone said the Bard College. You're right.
I
It
thought
is the
that's
Crystal
what it is.
Chrysalis.
He is, yes, he's a student, and he is working his way.
So, what if we try there and see if they have some better ideas than that stupid ass investigator?
An awfully long walk.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I feel like we track down all the leads in the city before we start heading out of the city.
There.
Like they-
This is just some possible future things. Not like let's
Yeah.
go right now and ignore everything else. Those are some
Yeah, I
options that might actually know something about these type of wounds that are
Yeah.
like they wouldn't tell everyone because they don't want everyone to know.
Yeah.
If I do recall, I believe it was Cassia that told me that there are actually people in my family that, don't like the spot that I'm in and would like to bring me back. So perhaps we could search out those people.
Anyone Cassia was close to, they might have an idea where she might keep some valuable info. Who's investigating?
Alex?
Yeah, there are people.
Yeah. There's people, yes.
Okay, then I'd say try that and try the writer, columnist. His name. Really bad.
What's first?
We'll do the columnist.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Let's track him down.
So you guys head over to Upper Triter. Near Zoot's house. By the time you get there, it's about 3 p.m.-ish. Zoot, you lead them generally towards his house. Anything you guys need to do on the way or say or anything? And as you're getting there.
Yeah, just as like a matter of fact, he does not think that the yokai exist. He says that there's proof in his article. They don't, but basically his opinion on them is that their modus operandi contradicts itself. And so therefore it is separate people doing each instance of the yokai. Considering that's not really the case for us, we're kind of in a different position, but he probably knows more than he's said in this 2-page article.
I think it might be kind of intimidating if all of us go up at once.
What's up?
Right.
Oh,
Do you think
that came through?
Okay. Do you think perhaps it might be intimidating for all of us to go at once? Like maybe it should just be you and Atticus.
Yeah, I suppose. I do. Yeah, I mean, the two of us could go in there. We are the ones that read it. He is also a teller of stories, so I don't know if anyone is interested in just meeting him. He is a minor celebrity.
Well, I could be convinced to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't feel obligated.
No, I'm going. It's okay.
So
Okay.
we have 3 people going.
Yeah.
And I also.
Why not?
Oh, sure. I guess.
No. That's fine. It's stupid. It's silly. It's silly. Atticus should go. I'll stay.
Well, I mean, I was just saying that. Well, Vespa made a good point that maybe we walk in with 6 people. It looks like we're trying to mug them or something.
Well, I thought it would be 4, which isn't 6. But I should. No. I'll stay. Oh, yes.
4 is not 6, no.
Eh.
Yeah, I mean, technically no.
I mean,
Oh, do you want to go talk to the cousins?
Yeah, maybe that might be a more productive use of your time.
I mean, I was going to, but I don't really feel like doing it now. There was a
Are
lot
you
of
ever going to feel like doing it?
there was a lot of kickback when I originally suggested the idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I think I was just curious what your plan was.
Just to understand, Atticus thinks they set him up. Do you have a reason for that, or you just don't like him?
Oh no, I just don't like them.
Okay, I just want to make sure Go's not going to just walk into some murderers' houses and
Oh,
go, oh, hi
alright.
there. Okay. Just be safe, Go, if you go. Mm.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
Call us when you get there. No.
Oh yeah. Shit. Who had the other stone? I had a stone and
I have it.
investment. Okay, so no, we're perfect.
Are we? I wasn't gonna go with Go.
Oh,
I'll give it to Go though.
sure. Sounds good.
Okay, I have this now.
Yeah.
Do I just shout in it, or
Oh,
Just
God.
talk at it, like as if you were standing next to someone.
Yeah. You don't have to yell. Make. AKA, please don't yell into it. Everyone yells into it when they first see it, and it's really annoying.
Can I go with Go then?
Yeah, thumbs up.
I just want to be included.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Prospero's going though. Vesper, what are you doing? Where are you going? Off on an adventure.
No.
All right.
I.
If you can message me if you
I'll
want.
let you know.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so Atticus and Zoot and Reynard, you guys are approaching the house of one Ari Filion. He has a fairly smaller house made of very old stone. As far as the integrity of the home, it's nothing seems to be upgraded or replaced or anything. It looks very old and it looks like it's been left how it was when it was made, probably. There are small aspects which kind of like seem like cleaned, I guess, and like maybe slightly refreshed, but nothing seems to be upgraded at least. There's a little fence out front, just loosely kind of outlining it. He has a little porch on the front as well as a nice, like kind of the rocking chair that hangs from the top of your house, I guess. One of those little swings. I guess it's a swing. It's not a rocking chair. Sorry. But yeah, a little Filion on his mailbox.
I would like to knock on the door.
All right. You knock. You hear a bit of rustling inside, and you hear a kind of an old man yell out, one second, one second. And you hear more rustling, and a minute later the door opens. In front of you is an old fairfolk man. He has blonde hair, which is tied into a bun above his head. He also has large glasses, which kind of barely sit on his tiny little nose. He wears almost like it's like almost a kimono-like robe, deep purple, very long sleeves that hang down past his feet. And he just kind of stands there, looks up at you, and just goes, "What can I do for you?"
What?
And he like adjusts his glasses and looks up at you.
We wish to discuss one of your articles.
Oh, yes. 1 second. And he grabs a little pen from beside the door, and he just goes, "Come on, show it to me."
I hand him the article.
He just signs it, hands it back. Okay, close the door.
I knock again.
What?
Well, that's not exactly what I meant. I have some questions.
Okay. Okay. He opens the door a little farther. Come on. A lot of you.
A couple. Zoot will enter.
Okay.
Same thing.
You guys walk into like a fairly crowded house. He's got a lot of books and just like papers and all sorts of like little objects kind of set on different tables. So you walk into kind of like a living room, and he has a pretty nice looking couch, very old looking, not dusty per se, but just like it just has like a very old style to it. That zoo you probably would have known from growing up, honestly. But there's just like a lot of stuff in here, like borderline hoarders a little bit, but mostly just like he looks like kind of one of those guys that just has shit everywhere that he's like probably like somehow knows where everything is, kind of thing. Not too messy, but like messy for most people. Anyway, he sits down on the armchair next to the couch, and he just goes, "Well, sit down then."
I
What can I help you with? What article? It's been almost 300 years. You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, the article about the yokai.
Ah, yes, that one is a favorite of most people.
Yes, well, it pertains to me particularly because I am part of the family you described.
Mid sentence, he, as you said, as he like kind of puts his glass and he goes, "Oh yes, a pontiff. Okay."
Mother.
Doesn't listen to the second half of the sentence. He just hears it pertains to me, and then the rest of it.
Yes, my name is Atticus Cornelius Caduceus Pontiff.
Yes, that does line up with what I know.
It seems to me that an incident of this yokai has happened to me. Because of it, I was banished from my family, and due to that,
I'm gonna stop you right there. So, those yokai, I don't know if you can read, but in my article, I did outline that they do not exist. Whatever happened to you is some sort of unexplained phenomenon. I'm sure that the police had no better way to tell you than to say it was this yokai group or whatever. I cannot bring you closure. I know nothing further.
Well, we think you're wrong.
He looks at you, like snaps to you, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Excuse me." Glasses fall down.
Well, part
He
of
thinks
your...
you're wrong, actually.
Okay, well, I think...
He just
that you're
like
wrong.
gestures towards Atticus.
I don't think you're wrong either.
Thank you. And what's your dilemma with my knowledge?
Well, I think one of the issues that your article has is it says basically the reason that you think that the yokai don't exist and the evidence that you presented that says that the yokai do not exist is because basically no one's found anything. Yeah, well, I mean that is something that's going to come up soon. But basically you're saying that there's no continuity in there and how that they work. Your article states basically that you think that they are just a group of different people accomplishing different things and just blaming them, correct?
Yes, that is quite right. I presume you are some sort of researcher. I would go so far as to suggest technology or science of some sort, and I would assume that you are one who sees answers only in solutions. Is that correct?
I would say that's a fair assumption.
Well, I don't know how to break this to you, but some answers come in lack of solutions. You see, these events do not hold together at all. They are so unevenly dispersed, and the terminology even used is contradictory to itself. You see, hand me the paper. Okay. See here, the first three sentences, they are called the protectors of the prophecy, equally as they are called the phantoms. Now, tell me how an organization protects while also slaying as they will. They are called assassins, they are called protectors, ghosts yet people. None of these things go together. They are aligned with several different gods over several different explanations. None of these things fit together. And I understand that you look for answers in pieces connecting. However, I am telling you that when you look at a puzzle and there are pieces from several different puzzles, you know that it's not going to fit whether or not you try to fit it together.
What if we happen to have an interaction with them that has stayed consistent over a long period of time? The way they kill is the same. The way they operate is the same. The cause of death is the same.
By all means, I would love to hear your rebuttal. I have done 250 years of research at this point on this matter, and any new information would be delightful. And he looks at you with like a very like unamused, like, please try me, you know, kind of like.
Yeah.
Bitch, try me.
Well, have you encountered people who? Okay. Let me think of how to actually phrase this in a way that it would need to be said. Basically, I want to mention. Let's see. So Atticus, we've encountered how many people now that have had like the same thing where basically they get knocked out, a bunch of people die around them, they get left with
I
a
think
note.
we met one. I think Cassie said 3 others, but one was
Got
seated
you.
and
It's
Five total.
Five total.
five total.
Five
But she
total.
said hasn't met a couple of them yet. I think right. She was on the way to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
some of it was
Legion,
research.
Cassia, and Lamry Chen, and then me.
Yeah. So on about 5 different occasions, we have found people that all have a very similar scenario where they are knocked unconscious. A group that they are traveling with is killed, and then they encounter, and then they are left with a note that says, "Go to somewhere off to the west." I can't exactly remember.
The free channel.
The free channel, yes. And all you, there'll be like some potential solution out there. We've also encountered. So the way that they died with Atticus, do we know whether or not they were stabbed like with the blood stuff?
I don't know that Atticus knew. I can't remember. I don't think. I mean, let me check your thing just to see.
Can't remember if I woke up before or after people showed up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm checking as well. I want to say you woke up after.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I'll say, yeah, because it just says you woke up finding no one around but yourself. So I guess you did wake up first technically, and then found after. So it kind of depends on how much you think you would have looked at it, like looked at the people. I actually, okay, we'll
They
say,
were family, right?
yeah, family member. I mean, not like his like mother and father per se, but just like cousins and stuff. Yeah. You probably, if you woke up, okay, you woke up, find a bunch of people laying around you, and you would have gone to investigate them. I'm assuming because you would not have found blood pools around them, and obviously this is leading to me saying that you probably would have found this same thing that has happened to you. So like if you wake up and there's a bunch of people just like on the ground, and and they're neither moving or talking or anything, yeah, you probably would have gone and checked them out and found it. So we'll say that you do know that.
Yeah. On many occasions, we found people uh, in his case particularly, we found the bodies killed in a similar way. all of them had their blood drained, and what we assume to be some kind of puncture wound. Throughout our travels, there have been many occasions where we've encountered the same thing when we're trying to lead to the truth. And whenever there's something yokai related, there's a dead body with blood drained from them in the same manner. Have you encountered anything like this in your investigation?
Well, I assume what you are referring to are the instances of these individuals, and I do understand what you're saying. I'm listening to you. However, you must dive deeper and pay closer attention to the details of these events. For 10 years ago, it was Elena Weathersby was framed in a village far from here to the north. She was left in a cage with a note on how she killed 3 individuals. After that, a man 6 years ago named Tyndall, a fair folk, found around some sort of ritual 2 dead bodies. 2 dozen dead bodies. That was north of here as well, however, not nearly as far. The first would have been in the Crimson Pass, the second was along the border. Now, the event after that, Lamriel Chen, that you spoke of, 2 years ago, was caught in a crazed, drunken magic stupor, killed the body, left the body of his former master at his feet. You left a dozen or so individuals, and this new individual that I do agree is connected in some strange way, according to everyone else, I should say, left a single, maybe 2 bodies, was it? All I say is that the events in each case are very different. She stole a book. He overran himself with magic. This individual was doing a ritual. These claims are always put together. The few times that I've heard them try to connect, and I don't see how they connect. They found themselves in a strange position, yes, but how many times over history have individuals found themselves taken over, controlled, possessed, whatever you call it, only to kill and then wake up not knowing how this has happened? Now, to say that these events are connected is very much so pulling at straws.
But what about my cousin, Cassia? She was killed in the same manner as I almost was.
Well,
Yet
perhaps
she
there was
was...
some sort of assassin come to catch you after your unfortunate event. Some
Also,
family
her
member who desired your downfall.
her pets were also killed that way.
Entirely
I don't know why that is,
barbaric
but
worker, then. Someone who's been hunting her, or you, or the likes.
so you said these aren't connected, but they're so similar. Do you think it's like the same type of magic, or
It could be. There's a million
same
kinds of magic and spells out there that we
same
haven't
demon
discovered.
possessed, or I don't think I've ever heard of this type of murder happen besides these extremely specific, extremely similar cases recently.
In all the readings I've done, there's many ways to kill someone without detection or without blood. Magic being one of them. Now, this person might have crafted their own sort of spell that they have gone about using in a way that, like I said, if it was an assassin, would not a blade that does not leave a mark, hardly, does not leave blood, be the perfect method for undetectable killing? I mean, you left many bodies in your wake. Who's to say there's not someone who wants revenge or wants answers, or perhaps even, dare I question the loyalty of our gods? Someone who never finished discovering the answers that wanted them to disappear. I understand your excitement for coming here and questioning these things. I see how you may consider them to be connecting. But I must tell you that you are lost in these endeavors. I have studied many things, especially in this city. The comings and goings, the events. The fair folk, and I would know I am one of them, like to tell many tales. They like to get answers. They like to do research. They like solidified answers. And when they don't get them, when the loose ends are not tied, it drives them mad. These individuals are nothing more than legends. They have no ground to stand on.
Just so we can be clear, you said you've been studying for 250 years? Looking at these
Yes,
incidents?
I have studied these things for a very
How
long
many
time.
how many times have you figured out who was responsible or stopped them then?
All incidents?
Or well, of this type of situation?
There are many times when things go unanswered. I am not an investigator, that is not my job. I simply seek information as all fair folk do.
You don't care who was responsible or they get brought to justice? Just that you know that it wasn't this Yonkai thing?
My endeavors are my own. I choose what I decide to discover and what I decide to research. And there are many people who read my writings and enjoy it. There are people who pay to put it in their columns. I see no reason why I should follow endeavors that others follow when I am already successful where I am.
Is there someone you would trust that could help us find this then in your time? Obviously, I think Atticus. I think I could say this for Atticus. I don't think he wants to be murdered. I don't think we want him to be murdered either. And I can look at like Zoot and Miss Prospero for a confirmation.
Prosper's not there.
I nod.
Oh, that's not
Still not there. No.
I nod from across the city.
Just starts nodding as you're walking.
confirmation.
I
So
would tell you that if you desire not to die, then hire protection, speak with the god, go about all those standard ways of individuals like to protect themselves. And if you want answers on your quest, I would not lend my hands, for I do not wish to see you chase your tail, as many have, on matters that I have already resolved.
it's not really resolved.
He
He just
kind
said
of dick, ain't he?
He's definitely stuck up, yeah.
it's not really resolved if you don't know who did it, and all you're saying is it's just not Yonkai.
There are many, many ways that anything could happen in this world. I will not go about trying to solve them all.
And
I have
two
studied
people,
the yokai, the scapegoat of our people. That is
and I
all.
believe that you said it was 2 dozen were killed with you, Atticus, and that's okay.
I do not know the matters that revolve around you. I do not even know you. For all I know, you did in fact do it, and have ridden this scapegoatery for quite some time now.
Scapegoatery?
Scape,
Yep, that's a word.
scapegoat goddery.
On which part?
Just like general, like, is he spitting bullshit at us? Like,
I would say that no, he doesn't seem like he's spitting bullshit at you. He definitely is acting like, like talking like he has done the research, and based on like just the general air of how he's talking, he seems like he's knows what he's talking about. He's a dick. He's an asshole, but he's like, I mean, you haven't found any reason not to believe him per se. You do get like a tiny feeling of like maybe he knows a little more than he's not saying. Maybe there's like, something that he just like doesn't want to give away for whatever reason.
Mhm.
But it doesn't seem particularly like he's like lying to you.
Okay.
And it's also hard to tell if it's like you feel like he's holding information back, or if he's just like he's just acting so superior that like he wants to go off the air, that he just has so much information that you can't even fathom, or like something like that. Like it's like something along those lines, one of the two, or something similar to that.
So, do you yourself have you've never encountered anything in your 250 years that seemed to line up with each other?
In what regards?
So you're saying that our situation itself is so uh let me think of how to say this exactly. So you've been studying this for a while,
Yes.
and there hasn't been anything that seemed to point together. Like, we have a string of kills in this very similar fashion, all what seem to be trying to cover up what's going on. You've never encountered anything like that in the future, or in the past. The future.
I I'm not that talented. No. um, I if you truly believe that these murders are done to cover something up, the killing, whoever meant to frame you, he's looking at you specifically, Zoot.
Mhm.
Perhaps you need to ask yourself why these murderers were so prolific in their methods, in every time except for killing the one person that would have put this all to rest. Who's to say that you are not on the wrong side of a cover-up? And his eyes like briefly flashed at Atticus.
I mean, that didn't really answer the question, though, did it?
All I'm saying is that you're taking a lot for granted. If you
Well,
dive so deeply into one side, why not dive into the other?
you're you're using a lot of effort to dodge the question of just me asking if you'd encountered this before. If
I
you'd encountered anything that seemed to make
have
sense.
not encountered. I heard first of a blade that left next to no mark when I read of your happenings, and he gestures to Atticus. I have done research and I have found nothing else that has happened in a similar manner.
Hmm.
And he'll like kind of turn to Atticus and he says, I do not mean to turn your friends against you. I am simply in the pursuit of information, as always. I have met many a pontiff in my time, and they are quite friendly individuals, very helpful. They have done a lot for us.
Hmm. Well, sounds like we've got some disappointing information, but I appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. You know, as much as we may disagree on things, I appreciate you at least hearing us out a little bit.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Before we go, I have one question. Have you been doing this investigative journalism for a while? What's the best story you've ever heard?
Oh dear God.
Ever come across?
For the love of God. Here we go.
There's a lot of information I've learned in my time. Hard to narrow it down.
Okay, well, one of the ones tied for the best. Even if you have it written in one of your journals, I'll buy it.
Perhaps if you were to keep an eye out on the news, you might find something you like coming out soon.
About
soon?
you. Dun, dun, dun.
It's
How
your
soon?
obituary.
Oh shit!
You say how soon?
Yeah.
He says, I don't keep track of exactly their printing schedule. I've submitted to them, and they have accepted, of course.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Thank you.
If you have further information, please, by all means, come and try me again.
Try me.
Let's see.
Fucking try me.
I feel like we would have wanted you to be more useful if we are gonna come back. And I'll walk out.
What? Oh,
I have answered all your questions.
If we end up proving you wrong, I'll be back.
Best of
Atticus
luck
is
with that.
Kinda
Niceroni and cheese,
wide,
guys.
like, sheesh. And he's just going to, well, thank you for your time, Arifilian. It was very insightful, and I do hope to come back and perhaps hear more, or some other time, or some other thing. Do appreciate it.
He's
Maybe
He stops
more
you
so
for a second, and he goes, how long has it been since you've found yourself in that situation? How many years?
About 13 years, I believe.
Right. And in that time, what have you thought about? How did it affect you?
Well, I thought a lot about being on my own, and also why it happened, and who would have a reason. And if I gave someone a reason to want to hate me so much, or to frame me, or whatever conspiracy might be happening.
And what have you come upon? What's your... any reason why you might find someone who wishes to do that?
Well, I was rivals with, two adopted twins in my family, but I don't think, rivalry would bring someone to such lengths. I'm not quite sure.
Indeed, I see. And tell me, are you learned in the magical ways?
Leonard.
Yes, of course.
And your parents, your... not parents, sorry. Your ancestors, those before you, they delved deep into the desert and found... they believe that they found truly what they said that they found.
Well, I suppose I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
What makes you
This
so
is
sure?
what I don't know. It seems to align with everything that I know and how everything seems, but you're suggesting that I go to this site again.
I must go. Please leave.
Okay. You leave.
Close the door behind you. Make a perception check, Atticus.
boy.
Okay.
Oh,
Whew!
bigger.
That's different.
That's
Okay.
you're really
You
Thank
look
you.
back for a second, like as he slams the door, and you already like a step after walking out the door, essentially, just barely catch him peeking through the shades of his window, and then he closes it as you look.
Kinda sus.
Guess what are you guys doing?
Can I just ask that in a, is he looking for something else around Atticus? Is he looking at Atticus like
It
this?
looks like he's looking at Atticus.
Can I just get some clarification on the conversation? Did he say, like, go back to the site where Atticus's, like, whole thing happened, or to go to the site where, like,
You
the
just,
ancestors found the dragon or whatever?
it was the site that they found it, is what he was talking about.
Okay. Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, yeah, I suppose over to Gozak and Prospero. So you guys are walking up to the twins' house.
You muted.
Me? Oh no.
I guess we're doing that now, huh, Prospero?
Oh, yes, we're going to have a very informative conversation, hopefully.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be thrilled for us to show up.
So we'll say we met Cassia?
Yes, that
And
is our connection to them.
And, we were stopping through town for what reason?
So we met Cassia in Search Hall,
Yes.
and you know, she said she was going to meet up with us on the next day. She never met up with us, but during the initial night of conversation, she said she lived in Alinora and might have to go back soon.
Yes.
So we came to Alinora because we were like, oh, she must have left. We found a house, and the house was empty, surrounded by guards. Let's go with surrounded by guards.
Yes.
So now we've tracked down the pontiffs to see what happened to the interesting stranger we wanted to talk with.
All right. You take the lead.
Okay. And if everything goes to shit, you have that blind spell ready, right?
Yes, of course.
Nice.
Okay, good. Let's keep that one on the back burner, but it's good to have.
Alrighty. So you guys are approaching the building. Same building as
Yep.
before. Obviously, nice, large, very ornate house. Knock on the gate.
Oh, I was about to ask.
I mean, is that what you're doing, or did you want to do something else?
Yeah, I'll knock on the gate if it's closed.
Alright. Yep. Gate opens.
Walk up to the door.
Sounds good. You knock on the door. No answer.
Knock again.
The door opens, and you see the same individual before you, the Fairfolk man. He goes, "Oh yes, you came back. Nice.
Yes.
nice.
Nice. I do find that to be quite nice. Sick.
Is that a thing? People just are like, hey, I'm going to come back, and then they don't come back?
Well, you did. You were inclined to say that you were not certain as to whether or not you would be coming back.
Also, just to
That's-
clarify, you didn't come back for a day.
That's true.
That's true.
That as
That's
well.
true.
That as well.
I got a little mixed up. I saw another friend of mine. This is,
Percival Winklebits.
yes, he's called Winklebits on account of his massive. What? That's not important.
His,
I don't like to brag, you know that.
It's an ironic nickname. That we shouldn't get into it.
No, that is my surname, Winklebits. I'm from a long line of Winklebitses.
the masters are waiting for you, sir.
Yes.
Okay, very, Yes.
I will round them.
Winkle bitties.
Mr. Winkle Bits, are you intending to join the meeting?
Yes, I would very much like to.
He like sighs and turns around. Right this way then. And he walks you through a few halls, down to this little room that has what? Just relax. Has a nice little table on it, some pretty nice armchairs, all fine wood. Sits you guys down, and he says, "They shall be in shortly."
Okay.
Walks out.
Do they have nice stuff in there?
They absolutely do, yeah.
I want to look at the nice stuff.
There are some nice things.
Nice.
Nice. A very nice chandelier above the table. There are some nice. Basically, the whole wall is a giant mural, just basically wrapped around the whole entire thing. Kind of a kind of this sunset over the mountains, outside of Alinora. With a little bit of like kind of a city scene off to the side a little bit, but also they would have, like I said, the nice armchairs, super nice. Leather and wood, or not leather, fabric and wood. Leather. That would be less comfortable. A few plants in here, a few nice little, there's like, I don't know what those things are called, but like the super tall stands where you basically can like smoke at.
Hookahs?
No, like, it's like it basically like an elevated ashtray, I guess, but it kind of has a little table around it. I don't know what it's called.
What?
Anyway,
Bougie?
what?
This is I'm gonna act like I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
anyway,
Let's-
We are all clearly
it's fine.
smokers.
It's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I am. Okay. Anyway, so yes, that is a bunch of nice stuff around. Anything you want to do in however many moments you have until they enter?
I'm gonna slick back my hair and pop my collar.
This is some pretty nice stuff in here, person.
Yes, quite.
Okay. A couple moments later, the door opens and you guys see two individuals walking into the room. There is also another man coming, kind of standing inside the door. Very, very large, bulky man. Obviously, some sort of like guard or hired hand or bodyguard type of thing. But these two are both Assini. At first, well, not at first, but they look honestly almost identical, impossible to tell apart. Pale skin, similar manner to Atticus. Both are rather tall, standing probably a little bit over 6 feet. They have a decent build with wide shoulders and bulky frames. They both have dark brown hair with one little horn sticking out either side of their temple. And they also have like a very deep green eyes. Dressed very nicely, wearing not exactly a suit, but like along those lines. And they both sit at the table across from you and just say, "What can I do for you, Mr.
Newsbots.
Ah, I have heard of your family."
Winkle bits.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
what that was.
Well to meet you.
This is a friend and traveling companion of mine, Percival Winklebits.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bow slightly.
We both had the pleasure of meeting your cousin. Holy shit, I cannot remember her name.
Right down.
Cleopatra. She's Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Your cousin Cleopatra in Searchall.
I'm
Cousin.
gonna
Um,
elbow you and say it's Cassia. Her name is Cassia.
But Cleopatra is much more formal and better name.
No, Cassia Vita. It's a
Cassia.
beautiful
Oh,
name.
that's right, because the pontiffs have many names. Cassia
Yes.
Vita something pontiff. Yes.
Yes. And why have you come here?
Well, because we met her in Searchall, and she was talking to us just outright exceptionally intelligent. We were supposed to go out for drinks one night, but she said she was coming back to town here. Maybe couldn't meet us, and that we should meet with her here. Percival and I had time, to kill. We have nothing going on at the moment, so we decided to make a trip up here, to meet with her. But when we got here, her house was surrounded by guards, and the guard said she had not been home for many months. And so we decided to find another pontiff, who might know what happened to this person we wanted to learn more about. But your names, I do not know which one of you is which, unfortunately, were brought up by another Void Bonacini,
Yes, one of the family.
I suppose.
I am Morothos, one of them. Kind of like slightly raise his hand. This is my
They
brother.
on the left? Are they on the left or the right?
You're right, so they're left.
In my head, one's a boy and one's a girl. Is that wrong?
That's what I had also thought.
Are they
Oh,
both
no.
guys?
Shit.
So if Percival and I are sitting at the table, is this Morothos or is this
Morothos
over here
would be
Morothos?
across from Prospero, so on your right.
Okay.
They're both guys. Just
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure Atticus, when he first introduced us, was like the brothers. Like, they were
Yeah.
saying it that constantly.
I don't know
Oh.
why, like, in my mind, it turned into a
It's because the
boy
names
and
are
a
made
girl,
up, so it's just, who knows? Who knows? Okay, I don't even know where we are.
Sorry
No,
to
it's okay.
interrupt.
It's okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, thank you for clarifying. You have to admit you are quite identical brothers.
Yes, we are. We've been told this many times. Lucky for him. He just like looks over, side eyes, very very minimal facial expression, just gives a side eye to his brother. And I guess Makaria is like, um, yes, well, unfortunately for you, we have.
Oh my God, they have the same voice
Yep,
too.
yep. We have.
Oh.
We have received word that our late cousin has been found dead in Church Hall.
Dead.
Dead?
Yes, indeed. Seems she was killed in her sleep or something or other.
Do you know what night? What day?
It was back a month or so. I do not remember quite. We went and investigated shortly after we got the word, but unfortunately, she, in fact, deceased.
Well, condolences for your loss.
I
I'm
thank
so
you.
sorry.
I mean that I guess would explain why we couldn't meet her for drinks then. But
I
I imagine
I
she
w-
meant no disrespect to you, sir.
oh
she
well,
seemed so personable. I can't imagine her having many enemies.
Yes, well, that city is full of rather unfortunate people who have taken poor paths, and likely she fell to a blade over an exchanging of coin or something or other. It's quite.
well, I mean Percival and I we were staying in the Opal district,
And was she
which if
staying
I
there as well?
remember right is the
She
rich
stayed
district.
Yes.
she
Yes.
stayed at the same inn that we did she not?
I believe so.
All the more reason to find one of the underlings of town caught his way into the rich district, killed over some sort of amount of money.
Well, I guess it comes to no. I mean, I guess I don't know why her house is surrounded by guards. That's not important. We
That
don't need to talk about that.
that we do not know, but we shall investigate on your word, then. Not right now.
Investigate on my word. What?
If you say this is true, then we shall go look to see if there's anything we can do to help.
Oh yes, there was an inspector. He appeared overworked. But
Yes, well,
other than that, I don't have the answers for you for that. You know, don't really know what to say now. I was expecting a different answer.
what kind of answer were you expecting?
It's like, oh, she's alive. She's just out of town. She had to go to this place, or not. Oh, she's dead. You know, like I came to see her and she's dead.
It's all right.
And
I'm
I've
gonna pat your
apologized
back.
to them, and I don't know the proper protocol on how to get out of this situation now.
Well, and they just kind of like look up at the guy by the door, and he just kind of looks over at you and gestures towards the door and opens it.
Oh, thank
If
God.
I appreciate you coming to us in search of our cousin. However, not the answer we wanted either.
Yes. Sorry for once again for the sourcing.
All
My
right. Well,
condolences.
good
The
day to you
door.
both.
I'm gonna go walk out the door now.
I like drag him.
Well, that wasn't my proudest moment.
Nor mine. As
I
we
mean,
walk away from the house, I'll say, I was a bit tempted to bring up their other cousin, but I know that would have not been smart.
no, especially if they hate him. You know that. I don't. Yeah, I didn't. I was pretty good until they were like, "Oh, we know she died," and then I was just. I had no idea what to go from that. Like, how do you press someone for information? And they're like, "Yes, family died." You know.
Yes, I don't think it was. I think we played it safe, perhaps a bit too safe, but
Maybe we should have blinded the big one.
I think they would have seen me casting spell.
Yeah, that's very true. They were described as smart and magical to me. So we maybe the others got more info out of this writer than we got out of the pontiff family.
Yes.
Like, we're gonna walk
Alright, so you guys are heading back?
back.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Back to your new safe house or Zoot's house? I guess. Where are you guys all meeting?
I assume Prospero and I are closer to the new safe house,
Yeah, you guys are pretty close.
so I think we'd go there first.
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
good.
I mean, we have sending stones. Like we can
Also true.
communicate.
We do have that.
Like we can decide where we go besides Vesper.
Okay, I'll pull out the sending stone. Soup! Soup! Are you there?
I said not to yell. Just you can just talk to it like normal.
Is this thing working? Can you hear me?
Hold it away from your face.
Oh, is this better?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't see you.
You're not supposed to see me. You're just supposed to hear me.
Oh,
That's how it
okay.
works. I actually have some stuff I need to take out of the sand and in the that was cooling off. So maybe we meet at my house.
Okay, we're at Vesper's Airbnb.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess if you're there, then we can meet you up there. Yeah, we'll just head over there. I could take it out later.
Okay. We'll hold down the fort over here.
Yeah. Zoot also wants to just make a pass by the house just to see if it's still under surveillance or still under guard.
Okay. Yeah, it would be.
Okay. And then he
Investigation.
me investigate.
No, I'm just saying they're still going on.
Okay. Good to know.
Alright, so the lot of you are meeting back at Zoot's house. Vesper, anything in particular besides what you're already doing?
Just that.
Sounds good.
Guess
Right.
I'm just like waiting. This is where I've decided I'm waiting.
Okay, sounds good.
Ah, now we're all back at the same house.
Oh, well, you guys get anything?
When you say get anything, do you mean like useful information or like I kind of floundered and Prospero saved the day?
Well,
Well,
I wouldn't go that far, but
does that mean you got
we
something?
both did what we could.
Well, we started out strong. We got in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, oh, our cousin is dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I started floundering. And then they opened the door and Prospero dragged me out.
Well,
Sounds
got it.
about
So
as
no.
yeah, it sounds about as useful as us, to be honest.
Mm.
Well, that's not quite true.
I mean, the guy that wrote that he doesn't believe the Yunkai is real told us they aren't real, with no real evidence,
Well,
and
I
also
think
without knowing who was responsible for like these or even where to start. Then said, "Don't even look into it and just walk away. Hire some guards." Like,
Well, I mean, that kind of sounds like an answer in of itself, isn't it?
to just give up and to hire guards to protect you for your
No,
life.
that means he's a sketchy old man, and I don't like him.
Well, I did get a lead out of him. You guys rudely left, and I kind of chatted a little bit more, and I mentioned,
We were the rude ones, yes.
well, just because he was rude doesn't mean you were rude back. I stayed polite, and I actually got something out of him. I was mentioning the transition to being voidborn in my family. And I mentioned if I should go back, and he abruptly, pushed me out of his house. Well, not physically. He told me to leave and wouldn't say anything on the matter. And
So you're
so it
saying
seems that's
he,
what we should do next.
so he was just being rude to you again? Okay. Yeah, I'm really glad we
I
went to
mean,
sit.
if
I
you
mean,
want
we
to
didn't stay
ignore the
there for
clear
watching it
lead,
rude.
then
I think what Atticus said right now is very important because we know that some of this information or whatever struck a nerve.
The type of reaction he had, what you're saying, is like the type of reaction that you'd have if you know you're being watched and you're not supposed to say something. Not really like, I'm trying to help you out here type of thing.
Well, I know, but that very piece there is helpful, is it not?
Oh, really quick before we continue on how rude this man was. I did bring up the fact that Cassia Vita's house was under surveillance, and they said they were going to look into it.
Ooh.
Did you say that we kind of want to go in by ourselves and not have them go look into it? Because that's what we're trying to do?
No.
Hmm.
How do I be like, oh, hey, I came here to visit your cousin. I went to the house and the house was under surveillance. Our cousin's dead. Oh, cool. Let me look around her house for a little bit. I met her one time. Like, how would you go about that, Reynard?
I believe if so, they
You
could
should go.
be looking to see if that rug was active.
You
And
should have gone with the
now
lever
you've
route.
led
Who
them
said
to
that
know
before?
that I'm here.
But we didn't say anything about you.
Well, yes, but it seems to me that that rug was a spell designed for me, or a void point. And now that they see it's been activated, it's clear that someone activated it. I think they'll draw that conclusion soon enough.
I thought they were just going to kind of drive off the investigators and the guards.
Maybe. guess I'm going down the narrative of them being the bad guy. So perhaps you're right.
I mean, they weren't. I wouldn't say they were rude to us, would you, Prospero? Like, they were very formal.
They were cold, distant, but not rude.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But anyways, back to this guys that wrote the article. What an ass!
I mean, we can go back to where he did the Voidborn Ascension ceremony or whatever you were saying. You can go back there, and I think that will determine how useful he's being. But
Yes,
I also
exactly.
think there's a chance, based on what you just said, that he's dead right now. Like that, the type of reaction you just described is the type of reaction that you know someone's watching you. Like when you just go, "Oh, I can't talk. Get out of my house real fast." That's like I'm gonna get murdered if someone thinks I'm talking about this.
Oh, well, I hope not.
Do you think going back to check on him would endanger him more?
I don't think it would.
I think
I
it would
think
endanger us.
Aren't you just being with us endangering us? I think we're fine with danger. I think that's what do you say, like 300, 400-year-old old man.
Yes, I think Ari just messaged me. We need to go back immediately.
Who just messaged you?
The person we just left. He said, if you desire answers, you must come back this very moment. You must hear my words before it's too late. We must go.
Do you think it's a trap?
You guys hear a very loud explosion outside.
He's super dead.
No, we
Alright.
don't know what that could mean.
I will say,
We got just head to the house.
anyone that wants to make a perception check real quick.
I was just gonna ask.
For the message, was it like he heard it in his voice type of message?
Yes.
To hear the voice of
Okay.
Ari.
I just want to make sure it was specifically like that.
I would say that you guys do hear the explosion at a slightly different, doesn't sound to be the exact same direction, but it is loosely in that direction. And it seems a lot closer, the explosion seems a lot closer than you would expect for it to be his house, which was farther across the sector.
Well, I'm
That's a-
fucking running over.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
impressive
also
because
gonna-
I didn't know where the house was.
Well, those of you that were there.
Learned a lot with the 7.
And I started running.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we shall stop there then. Pick up next
What?
week. Yeah, it's 9:30.
Gosh darn it.
Cliffhangies? That doesn't stop you from going to 10:30 before.
I don't think we've
9:30.
ever gone to 10:30.
Yes, we have.
Maybe like very early on.
No. When we finished the other campaign, we were like
What
at midnight.
Well, okay, end of the campaign, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're
What
gonna
did
stop.
Ari say
Just cut paste it.
for the notes?
He
Well,
said-
Like, come quick, basically.
Perfect.
He said, my words before it is too late, implying that he is going to die.
Or maybe he's just going to lose his voice.
If only someone said he was about to get murdered.
Yeah, good timing, right?
Alrighty, that's where we're gonna end it then.
I hate
Should
it.
end the stream.
I will say
I don't
when
do
you
it
had
very
that,
often. I really
I
don't.
know.
So you gotta get one in there. You know, so
when you had that reaction.
Before the stream ends, no.
we're not deep throating falafel.
When he had that reaction with Atticus kind of telling him what he was going to say, I was like, oh, I'm going to like walk away and then run back inside out of nowhere. Oh, wait, I wasn't there because I left rudely. Shit, he just died probably because of that.
We'll find out next week. Sometime. Maybe it's a Sunday, maybe it's a Tuesday, maybe it's a Wednesday. Who knows?
Oh, I'm
You remember what
sorry.
next week was?
I do not remember, but I will in a second.